Hello and welcome back to the World of Darkness. This is one of our monthly pre-recorded sessions. We've got two other pre-recorded campaigns that we're working on, but this is the World of Darkness night that you're here for, so welcome. In a few moments, I will turn it over to Lance as the DM, but first, just a few quick reminders as we get started. As always, anything that we do video-wise does wind up on our YouTube channel, so be sure that you head over there, hit like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you'll always know when new content hits the YouTube channels. Yeah, I was gonna say more, but I'm gonna leave it there. We do also have a Discord server. We use it primarily to let you guys know what the schedule is. Be sure you go and are following that, and you will always know when these pre-recorded sessions are playing, but also when our live sessions of the main campaign are playing as well. It'll also let you know if there's any changes to our weekly schedule. As of recording, we are doing two episodes most weeks, but subject to change, and the Discord will keep you apprised of that. That's all the time I'm going to take up. Right now, I am going to turn it over to Lance for more World of Darkness.
Who wants to do a recap?
I did block once.
It was I think the last of our timeshare interview.
Theoretically, one of you may make that no longer true, but theoretically.
Yeah, we sat through a free council meeting, and a couple of them actually, and I think when we left off, we were gonna sort of as a cabal,
which has officially been decided.
we were gonna sit down and sort of talk over what we're thinking was the thought, and I think we were going to y'all's place? Or yes, y'all's place.
I do have slightly more in-depth notes if you think that we need slightly more in-depth saying of things.
It's up to you guys. I'm going to enjoy my toast from Denny's over here.
Did you get hungry for Denny's?
Yeah, we got Denny's. That's what we had for lunch.
That's amazing.
Which is only really funny if you remember last session, where the after party to the free council meeting we went to was at a Denny's.
Yep.
So we did meet a cabal dedicated to mapping the lake, and we've discovered that the lake seems to be changing proportions and distances occasionally. That seems like something that might be worth remembering. Some of us are now on Lewis's socials so that we can be included in the updating of the spreadsheet. Let's see. We learned that the Concilium doesn't want anyone in the boathouse, and has ordered, well, we kind of knew this already, has ordered the adamantine arrow to guard it to keep other people out. The Free Council meeting has decided that their answer to that is, so don't get caught and don't tell them what you're up to. That seems like maybe an important thing to know. Apparently, the Free Council also puts out anime watch lists and stock recommendations, and they like to debate over quantum physics, so that's funsies.
Dogecoin is bigger at the moment.
Yeah, apparently for this particular space.
2019, baby.
2019.
To the moon!
To the moon!
We may meet up at Denny's afterwards for the after party, where we meet kind of like a clique that has a lot of cool people in it that we're interested in. And we learned that Payne, who, like Thomas Payne, was... he's kind of the authority figure, even though he's not an authority figure, of the Free Council. He was in a cabal with Lysander, Minerva, and Helix, a handful of other folks. They had a conflict with the Seers of the Throne. Now they're all in very high positions of authority within their respective orders. So that's good to know. And yes, now we are chatting with each other to kind of talk about our leanings.
commence with the chatting.
So,
Oh, okay.
I, as much as in real life here, bring out all my gum because that is what I have for snackage at the house. Like, here you go.
I put out some cookies.
Store-bought, made or store-bought?
Store-bought.
Okay.
You give me 5 minutes to walk down to that store. I'll get you set.
If you
I mean,
want
Or
to.
you guys can use your fancy technologies and order a pizza.
Hold on, are we actually hungry?
We just came
I
from
mean,
Denny's.
we
That's
just came
true.
from Denny's.
I was just like, what? Okay, never mind. I forgot
Like,
the
I figured this
proximity
was like-
time. Yes.
Yeah, no.
If you need to, like,
I will freshen my breath then.
it is there if anybody has the desire.
The desire, the need.
I got
The
pancake
gum.
breath. I will choose some gum. All right.
Okay. We've met with just about everybody
Yep.
except Mysterium.
But it doesn't seem like they want to
Didn't
put their hat into our...
Yeah,
into our
yeah,
rings.
wasn't interested in them anyway, so.
I've had Guardians reach out. I've been there with the rest of you about everything else.
You had Guardians reach
I
out?
had the Guardians of the Veil reach
That seems...
How was that?
out. Creepy.
Well,
I went with her to make sure they didn't murder her
She
because
I
stalked
mean,
me.
we literally talked to a corpse that they sent to talk to us.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They're weird.
They are weird.
I mean, they have interesting values, and I don't think I believe in many of their values, but...
I mean, they sent me a thief to speak well on behalf of that order, make them look a little better. That says something.
I do appreciate the idea of trying to keep pretty bad people out of, like, I wouldn't want a Hitler to awaken. I could get that. I can get behind that. But
So they're the self-appointed watchers.
kind
Right.
of, yeah. Well,
So who watches the watchers?
that's my question.
I'm guessing kind of like maybe the rest of the orders keep eyes on them. That's sort of the vibe that I get anyway.
I mean, we were told that nobody trusts them. Like, if you went to the Guardians and then tried to go to a different order, that it could happen, but everyone would be like, we're not sure if we trust you.
No.
Because you could be a spy.
That I could see like practical logic in that though, you know, and like I see the idea of like distrust on both sides on that particular side of the fence. I don't know that I would say that, I don't know, my impression. If they go from that order to the other order after being there for a long time, they're almost certainly spying on somebody, right? And so the fear then, if you're not doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, becomes making sure that nothing you're doing looks like it could be misconstrued as something you're not supposed to be doing. And that's just a microscope nobody likes operating under. So, I don't know. They're in enough gray water territory for me that I don't feel like I'm super, like, I feel like what they do is probably important.
Not my cup of tea.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'm comfortable with that much gray. You know, I understand that life is kind of all about shades of gray, but they just operate in that water all the time.
So that's a no on the Mysterium and the Guardians of the Veil.
Well, I mean, let's ask it. Let's turn it around. What's everybody thinking? What's everybody thinking for them?
I mean, first off, are we determined to go all in one?
I was
Because
actually going to
don't-
say it'd be a
Yeah.
good thing if we all go to different ones.
Yeah, it's like I know we don't all have to go to the same place.
I mean, if one speaks to you, I don't want us to feel that one is off limits because
because we all have to fit
group
into
just-
Right.
Yes, like if you decided that
It
the
just
Guardians were.
sounds like there were a couple that
I'm trying
none
not
of us
to
were
because I
interested
think Lance
in.
might kill me, but I'm an ever-changing.
Your sacrifice shall be
no.
remembered.
Steph, you can pick any of them that you want. The only one I am not prepared for you to go into is the Mysterium. I have prepped every other contingency except that one.
Okay.
So what are you thinking for you, Piper? No, you're Piper.
I'm Piper.
You are Piper.
I'm Oris.
Oris.
I'm Oris, technically. So
Piper, Oris, whoever you are.
I won't lie, I am drawn to completely opposite sides of the spectrum because there is a higher part of me and there is a lower part of me.
That's what happens when you
A
divide yourself in
a baser
half.
part of me.
I mean, you
Like,
could just say
I mean,
different. They're both
there are
parts of
two
you.
parts of me. One would like to follow higher callings of humanity, in which case I am very interested in the adamantine arrow and silver ladder. The freedom of the Free Council does appeal to me as someone who does not like to be told what to do. However, I've been hurt so much in my past, to be frank here, that the appeal of keeping out the unsavory, like the Guardians might, does appeal to me. But I do consider that to be uncertain if that's what I want to nurture in myself. Opening up in my living room with my gum pile.
Where are you leaning?
Well,
What you thinking?
I sort of like the vibe of the adamantine arrow. I just don't agree with some of the things they believe, and that sort of kind of culty-ish. Now, having worked in like summer camps before, it can get culty, but I only ever had to deal with that for like 3 months of the year, so you know. I also like the Free Council, and I'm leaning more towards them. It's just I'm not technological adept. It seems like they seem to care a lot about that.
We can fix that. That's,
Can we?
we can try to fix that. If you want to. We don't.
I mean,
If you don't want to, we don't have to.
I'm leaning more towards, like you said, like freedom,
Mm.
sort of just not being told what to do. Kind of appeals to me.
it kind of seems like within all of these orders, you can still kind of just do you. Like, there are some guidelines for some of them, but if you're not super into technology, but the Free Council appeals to you, I think that they'd still take you. Like, I don't think that's actually going to be a problem.
All right.
Yeah.
You just might be an outlier a little bit,
Yeah.
but who isn't?
And we can, teach an old dog new tricks. That's
I'm
there's
not
nothing.
that old.
But you
It's a turn of phrase.
I know.
I don't know that it is a turn of phrase. I think he acts like a 112-year-old man.
He's just an old soul.
Is he acting like a 112-year-old man, or is he acting like a man from the year 112?
You know, little A, little B.
So I don't remember if I've told all of you. Piper knows. The Silver Ladder actually reached out to me.
Oh,
Oh.
how was
and
that?
I got a different viewpoint than the one that we had been presented, and that's actually kind of where I'm leaning.
Isn't that because we had that the one woman pitching it, or
She didn't pitch it. She was just our first impression.
right?
And then we had... Shit, who was it? I don't remember the name of the person. Was it Lafayette?
No, I have it.
I was to say, you should see if you wrote down
No,
notes.
because
about it.
Lafayette was in the Free Council.
Right.
No, sorry. I have,
Oh, wait, I got it.
Rob, no.
Schwinn!
Schwinn. The
That's
Oh,
bike.
right, the bike.
The bike.
Bike man.
That was a choice.
I'm sure that there's probably more historical relevance to that name than the bicycle.
No, I'm not so sure.
I just haven't looked it up yet.
So they have piqued my interest,
Okay.
and I think that I might lean that way, but also with a hefty dose of possibility for the Free Council. Because I do also, I feel like with the Free Council there is a lot of room to kind of just do and exist and be. But I also know. I'm getting the sense that you could kind of do that wherever. In some way. Maybe not quite the Guardians. I feel like that one might be a little bit more niche. But I don't know, it's the sort of second opinion that I got was enough to pique my interest.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of like, kind of in the same boat as our friend Loco here. I'm like, I like some of what the adamantine arrow sort of strives for and drives toward, but they're a little too regimented for me. So I won't say I felt at home with the Free Council, but I think I felt more at home there. I think I could find a niche, find a purpose there a little bit more. Jamal?
Well, I'm interested in the fact that you got to get a different impression than what she wished there. I just slid like into this weird southern thing. I don't know what the hell happened. What that the she witch ended up giving impressions about. I'd be curious to get a better sampling of what that looks like, but with what I have to work with, I'd say I like the idea of the democratic balance in the Free Council quite a bit. But man, all of the things that they talk about with the adamantine arrow, those are the things that I work with every day with the kids. You know, adaptability is strength. That's absolutely true. Existence is always war. You're always in conflict. You got to figure out how to navigate it. The enlightenment is honor. Service is mastery. Absolutely. They're very disciplined, and self-discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. Because you got to decide that future you is actually worth putting in the effort now.
I liked their idea that every person's a universe unto themselves. It's, like I said, it appeals to a higher phase of being.
Yeah. So I think I'm leaning that direction at the moment. It speaks to a lot of my values. And, maybe they lean pretty dang democratic too once you get in there and get into the nuts and bolts of the thing. Just not quite as chaotically so as we
And as
have.
blatantly so. I feel like the Free Council lives off of the fact that they are a democracy and everyone has a say.
Yeah.
To the point of a fault, maybe even.
Yeah, I will say though it's way less creepy than bringing everybody around the campfire because I didn't have any of that summer camp kind of.
Yeah, that was weird even for me, but mostly because it was a long walk and it was surrounded by a lot of crows or ravens.
That was kind of creepy.
I don't remember which one it
It
was.
doesn't matter because you guys found out that they were actually spirits.
Oh.
The question I didn't think to ask with that one that I did at the Free Council was, do you have to go to the meetings? I don't think you do. So
I think I feel like they said it was, I don't remember what the term is, gosh dang it, but their power source.
Their magic battery or whatever it was. So if you want to get replenished of your magical battery, you go there to a well or something.
Who took good notes?
I didn't have a note-taking thing at the time.
I don't have it. What did you say?
Paper?
Paper?
Book.
I thought it was like a well or something.
No, that doesn't feel right. Dang it.
Screw you, Lance.
I go to a big meeting.
I love that you guys remember just enough to realize that you didn't remember something.
So it was a source where the power kind of came through from what I can remember, and
Reservoir type thing.
it's not so much that just by being there you're near it. They did a spell or they did something that
Yeah,
boosted it out to everybody.
Lysander did some sort of thing that activated it.
But there was a natural place there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did talk about how some cabals have their own.
Right.
whatever the hell it was.
I didn't get the impression, and maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't get the impression that it was, if you want to have magics, you must come to this and sit here and be
It's
Well,
just good for
in
you.
my pheromone.
Not
They did
required,
say there were
but
a
good
lot
for you.
of smaller ones around
That
too.
a lot of cabals have
Lot of
been-
ca- lot of
that
cabals
build their
have them.
little
Yeah.
little secret places on top of.
I'm gonna call Alpheus.
Okay.
You're really just gonna. We don't need to know.
It's gonna bother me, okay?
You just
Hel-
text him?
Hello?
Hey, I forgot a term for something, and I have a question.
And I'm your dictionary, apparently. What's up?
I mean, you did say that we could call you for anything.
I didn't say you couldn't. What's up?
So like the magical wells of resource or whatever that you guys use, what's the term for that? Yes, I know I sound like an idiot, okay?
Okay, can you give me some context?
So like when
Adamantine Arrow.
yeah,
has their
Adamantine
headquarters
Arrow,
over
we went to one of their meetings and there was like 4 fires and we were told that it was an area of a natural magic source or something.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Hang on. And you hear like muffled, like, hey! What? No, what the? Yeah, where there's a hole, isn't it? Okay, good.
Why did you sounded like he was very hood all of a sudden.
That would be a hallow.
Hallow! That's what it was. Yes, okay.
Now I wrote why I wrote that stupid word down.
It's just in the margin. Hallow.
Awesome.
Somewhere, and I was
Okay.
like, what is this?
Thank you very much. I could not remember the word, and this is not something I can Google.
Yep, no problem.
Thanks, Alpheus. You're the best.
I can't wait for your next call.
Hopefully, it's more interesting.
Oh no, this was pretty interesting.
I ripped it out of
Thanks.
my notebook.
Bye.
I threw it away. Because I was
It's
like,
a
oh, it's
hallow.
unfolded. It's not important.
Hallow.
Anyway,
Yes, I know.
so
I think. Okay.
Hardest part of the game, they have to make a choice. They have to commit.
I think ultimately, the tenet that stuck out most to me was the fact that the Silver Ladder focuses on reclaiming birthright, which I'm all about everyone being equally informed and having the same opportunities and powers, and I don't like being told what to do, so I don't think I want to do the Guardians.
They would tell you what to do.
Well, I'm kind of the same way. I don't like being told what to do, which is not leading me to the Silver Arrow. It's
Silver Ladder.
leading me more towards the Free Council. So I suspect that I will probably wind up there. Although with my organizational filmmaking background, I might be one of those people that tries to do a little tad bit more organizing within the.
Man, they need it.
They do believe in all
Do you
knowledge that
know?
should be shared.
That is a
That is a
Big bag
hot
of
mess, but I've worked with worse. So
fair enough.
I just, I really, with the Adamantine Arrow means determine who you are. That appeals too. But I don't like being told what to do. And I'm a little bit afraid that they'll tell me what to do.
I mean, I'm almost sure that they probably will, but here's the thing. I get the idea from them, and I could be wrong about this because I don't know any more than you do at this point, but the vibes check, right? I get the impression if you're told something that feels deep down real wrong, it's like technically, I know that there are issues with this. In the military, if you are following an order that you think is absolutely like immoral, wrong, not actually lawful, you're supposed to be able to like not follow it because you know it's wrong. Now in practice it falls apart there, right? But like I feel like they got the spirit of that right. So like the things that they tell you to do mostly would probably be pretty honorable, seeing as that is like in their tenets.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about enlightenment
So-
being honor. So,
So I don't think that they're going to ask you to do anything super crazy wrong, unless they are not aware that it's super crazy wrong. If they're not aware, then what are the chances any of the rest of the group is? You know?
okay, I'm not going first because
Oh, what, we like cutting palms and being like, oh, I'm going to say this thing now?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think we have to
I
do
don't-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can all make our own decisions
we
too.
must by the end of this.
I mean,
I think that's a God problem.
yeah, it's like, I just, you know, we don't all have to wind up in the same spot.
True. Yeah. It's not a bad thing to have an idea
Yeah,
of where our
it's all
wall
just-
members are.
Orders are an individual choice, not
Yeah.
a group choice.
No.
But if you don't pick one by the end of this episode, we can't advance the plot.
God will punish you.
Now, that being said,
Mysterium.
now that we've all
Would.
kind of crystallized, at least for ourselves individually, what order we want to be in, we are a cabal now, which means as a group, we need a goal. We need something.
Don't you think we should probably know a little bit more before we decide what our goal is?
I think our goal is to stay afloat right now.
That's a good goal, and we can start with that, and maybe pick something else up along the way.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
figuring out the whole tentacle monster in the lake situation, since
Yeah,
apparently
I don't want no
big
part of that.
No,
sloths-
no.
I
I don't want no part of that.
I don't think we get a choice.
Maybe we don't.
I think that kind of happened to us, and from the sounds of it, there aren't oodles of people who know everything that happened there. But we do.
I just don't want us to be the cabal that weird stuff happens to.
Well,
I don't want us to be the magnet for strange.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So
Dion?
we should not name
Plants.
ourselves the Scooby-Doo Gang.
Dion, I don't think you get a choice.
Maybe
Do
not.
cabals name themselves?
Yes,
Okay.
every single cabal you guys have interacted with has a
I
name
know,
they go
I just want to
by.
make sure.
Now, you don't actually have to, like, pick one right away, but, like, yes, eventually they usually establish a name.
See, I wish they'd have told us that kind of stuff like before we picked our own names, because ours
So we
don't
could've
have
had a
any of that
theme?
matchy shit going on.
You were also told that you can change your
You can
names.
still change them, yeah.
Also true.
And that
Yeah,
the
but the-
earlier you, like, the longer you are in a name, the harder it is to change, so the earlier you change, the easier.
I don't know about you guys, but I like my name. I don't want to change my name. I think I might be the Lafayette of the group if we do matching names.
Except for this one guy who just wouldn't go along with the plan.
Well, I think since my ultimate goal, yes, my immediate goal is to learn more and survive this what the heck that we're in. But two, I take some umbrage with the kidnapping people.
Yeah, that's real creepy.
I don't quite like that.
No,
The-
no.
I do not like people that take advantage of other people, so I
Which one's the kidnapping people?
The blue jean cult.
the blue jean.
Oh, yeah, those are not members of the Pentacle.
No.
Yeah.
Those are seers, right?
You don't know.
Yeah, we haven't figured that part out.
All we knew is they were tied to the tentacle monster somehow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Abercrombie and Finn.
That's one of those things, one of the reasons that I feel like one of our purposes is probably going to be tied up in that tentacle monster thing, because, like, we know that they were a part of it, and, well, hopefully I don't have to stab some big sea squid thing. I have a funny feeling we're probably going to have to figure out who the hell those people were.
I suddenly know what I would change my name to.
Teacher,
Yes.
do we know enough about magic to, like, check to see if anyone's magically listening?
You can always try.
Whether you succeed or not's another question.
How do I try?
How would you like to try?
I would like to use my magic to try to see if I sense something that's not supposed to be here.
Okay. So that, this is the fun time to remind you all that there's a set of papers, there's also, there was a link I can give you to an online way to build your dice pool, because that will indeed be a spell.
Shit.
Yep.
I'm still waiting to see what Sleepwalker Retainer will eventually become. I kind of want to change my makeup. I have one and it's perfect for me.
Change what?
I suddenly want to change my shadow.
Oh no.
What?
Did they?
The online thing may not be up anymore. Let me check.
No!
I mean, I have the cheat sheet.
I think we were all...
We were all given a copy.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
like
there
5
was
pages.
there was just an
Oh,
online
jeez.
one that was easier to use.
Oh, good. Lord.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
This is where it gets difficult.
Man, I know that what I'm doing is a good idea, but now I regret it.
Okay. So what we're gonna have to do.
Figure it out one of these times.
Yeah. What we're gonna have to do
Uh-huh.
is I will build it on my thing. I can get access to it, but right now it's only in an archived version, so I don't want to make you deal with that. So the spell we're going to. So what is your gnosis?
1.
Excellent. What is your? How many dots do you have in the Fate Arcanum?
2, but it says ruling.
Yeah. Is that your highest Arcana?
Yes.
Do.
I have such weird shit written on here that I don't know what it means.
That's because it's a little. It's a complicated process.
Oh, like I have notes on here. Like, rote magic, codified.
I'm pretty
Nimbus,
sure...
eye halo, bittersweet memories and cologne.
So my Nimbus, remember when I cast, it's absolute absence of sound and a fingerprint left behind. That's your signature.
Okay, yeah.
Mm,
There we go.
I'm pretty sure I have a license plate written down. I think that's what this is.
Forgot what a Nimbus was. Thank you. That makes those things make a lot more sense. I was like, what does bittersweet memories and cologne have to do with anything?
Okay, you are going to roll me 3 dice.
Just straight 3.
Just 3.
Okay.
Yep, I put in all the information to figure out exactly what your die pool would be and like all this stuff. It's just a 3 die roll.
Okay. A 9, a 9, and a 3. So
Right.
2 successes.
Now, if you recall, every mage has a nimbus, and then that nimbus, everyone around them can see it when they cast their magic. Would you describe for the rest of the party what they see as you begin to cast your spell?
Yes. So, you guys are talking about the different things, and I sort of have this thought where I'm like, in D&D, you check to make sure nobody's listening on important conversations. Maybe I should check to see if anybody's listening in on this important conversation. So I probably get like this weird look of concentration on my face. And then in the corner of the room, if you are paying attention, there's going to be some really whimsical looking vines that start coming up out of the floor with black thorns and just some really pretty kind of delicate flowers. And they'll fade away after a little while, but if you are paying attention, that happens.
as she casts this spell, all of your mage sight does notify, like you sense, however it is you individually sense it, that there is magic in the area as she casts the spell.
Oh shit! I forgot that's what you do.
Ooh, yeah.
Sorry, it's me.
Good to know. Good to know.
This is gonna sound silly, but in D&D, you check to see if anybody's listening, and I just realized we're talking about
Oh,
technical
no, I get it. I get it.
things,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, don't apologize. I should have thought
Well-
of it myself.
I am gonna apologize just because I don't know what I'm doing, and I hopefully don't blow us all up.
Well, so, what'd you see? Anything?
God? Did I... Nothing?
You do not get the sense that there is anything here that is not supposed to be here,
Okay.
as that is what you were looking for.
That's not specific enough, is it?
That was, it could be, you said you wanted to use your magic to sense if there was anything here that is not supposed to be here. You did so, and the magic did not tell you that it found something that wasn't supposed to be here.
Well, based off of that, I'm thinking it worked. I was trying to see if there's anything here that's not supposed to be here. I didn't. I think we're fine.
Did any of them give us any advisories that we shouldn't use magic in the privacy of our own home or
If they
something?
did,
like
I
that?
don't remember.
No,
we're
I
not
don't-
setting
I don't
off
think so.
somebody's
They haven't
weird
taught us
magical
anything, no.
alarms, right?
Pretty soon the Ministry of Magic is going to show up and be like, you're not supposed to cast that outside of the...
I just know that we reached through the veil or something when we do magic, I think. Right,
Oh,
that's why
right,
they
and
want
it
to
could be
stop
like-
sometimes people from doing it. So
Tear a hole in the
tear a
fabric of
hole,
reality,
space-time
whatever.
continuum
Bring
or
void
something,
monsters over,
Yeah.
and yeah, bad stuff happens.
But no, this seemed like a good reason to
Yeah, that
do
seems
it.
small, like little thing.
Well, and especially it's one thing talking about what order we're potentially going to go into, but we're also talking about experiences that we had that we are keeping away from most people. So,
Other mages specifically, yes.
and sleepers. I don't think we want to tell them
yeah,
either.
but
Why do you think that they don't want to? They don't want any council members, stuff like that, in the boathouse examining things.
I mean, I imagine there probably are.
because it was a dangerous situation. I mean, you were there.
They don't know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on. They don't know how dangerous it is.
So we want to keep
And
people
everyone-
who have magic and know how to use it away from it.
I'm kind of betting that the upper management of this whole magic thing is sending their own people.
Fair.
I just know too many movies where the character runs for help and goes, "Oh, thank goodness! Here's what happened," and then they kill him.
That's
Well,
fair. That's fair.
The other thing is, it may be a matter they don't know who to trust.
Also fair.
Because clearly this was magic at work. Maybe they're thinking inside work, inside job,
Possible.
which means they don't know who to trust. So you got to keep everybody out until you can find that out.
That's reasonable.
So, anyway, good call.
Yeah.
Making sure that we're not being
Yeah, that was a good idea.
eavesdropped on.
Maybe. I'm also now wondering though, if this is when you rub the genie lamp and you have to be really, really, really specific about your words. I was thinking anything that's not supposed to be here, but what if I needed to cast a spell for magic or eavesdropping or
We can see your magic.
You were new to D&D, weren't you?
you knew what was?
It's been a minute. We've been through a lot the last few
There's
days.
been a lot of trauma. That's a fair point.
It's like a wish spell. You got to make sure you dial it in real good, or all bad things happen.
Yes, Daniel.
And I'm gonna cast a spell to let's see, how can I make this
Worded correctly.
worded correctly?
Okay, I will tell you, I am not playing Genie over here most of the time. You don't need to,
Okay.
get into the nitty-gritty, but,
Broad strokes.
it does matter. If you're I want to sense if there's any creatures around me, you would sense living things. If it was a dead thing, that would, you
Right.
do have to be
Right.
sort of careful about, what type of magic you use to find what you're looking for.
So I'm actually not going to do that. But in order to make us a little bit more secure, I'm going to try and use my space magic to put up a thin bubble of vacuum around us.
What?
Like like a thin bubble, like just like a very thin barrier. Still have air in for us, but it's like great big space, but surround a great big space with a thin like shape of vacuum so that sound can't carry through it.
What is your gnosis?
It is just one.
What is your space?
It is also just one. And this might be a very bad thing. I suspect this is only going to be a 2.
I'm moving to the next.
Space is not one of my rolling, but
I forgot what prime is now. That's one of my ruling.
That was. I wrote that down.
Like a lot of them are kind of self-explanatory. That one is not.
and how quickly does willpower recharge?
You get 1 back per day. You get 1 every time you fulfill your vice to your detriment, and you get 1 every time you or you get all of them back every time you fulfill your virtue once per day. All right. So the way this is going to work, as you reach out for the magic, you will have a chance die. Which means you only succeed if you get a 10, and if you get a 1, it's a critical failure. Also, this spell will incur a paradox roll of 5. If I succeed on this, you invoke paradox, because you are trying to cast a spell that is a level 3 space spell. And you do not have the arcana necessary for it. In addition, you are trying to cast it instantly, which adds a dice penalty, and you want it to affect an entire room instead of yourself, which adds a dice penalty, and I assume you want it to last for at least a couple minutes, which incurs another dice penalty.
Shit.
So you can try. Now, you are not locked in. The way this will always work is before you actually lock into casting a spell, you get to know what the die pools look like, so you can realize as you go to do it, like, oh, I'm reaching really far past my limit. But you may attempt it.
And if I wanted to spend a willpower, I could add 3 to the...
That would not negate the penalty. The current penalty you have is like -12.
Jeez. Then no, I am not trying that.
Okay.
You see, you go.
That's a bad
You
idea.
realize that is a spell that would be
That
beyond your capabilities
That is
currently.
Oh no, I don't want to do that. Never mind.
Yeah, before we start
No,
popping off,
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
we don't have any.
I will let you know,
brain.
also trying to create, prevent anything from entering a space, but allowing certain things is a more advanced type of spell than if you just, straight up were like, I create a vacuum.
Oh.
That's a little easier.
Yeah. It's like, oh, no.
Also,
no.
Things that would have made it easier if you were willing to take several hours to cast the spell instead of do it instantly. Or you only wanted it to affect you. Or you were okay with it only lasting 1 round instead of lasting what I presume would be at least a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no. It's like, you know what? Yeah, no. Although it's fascinating to think that I could have gotten away with it. or tried to get away with it.
Are you saying this out loud?
Oh, yeah.
You scare me a little
We
bit.
still don't know what you were trying to do.
Oh, I was trying to make sure no one outside this room could listen in to us.
Alright.
Thought I'd try something. Decided that it was probably a little advanced.
You made the right call, Keith. You made the right call.
Yeah, keep in track of in your mind, we're baby wizards.
Yeah, but if I don't know where my boundaries are, then I don't know where my boundaries are.
It's a bad idea to just randomly test shit that you don't know anything about.
So let's-
It's like trying to give a baby steak.
I'd request we not test anything around my beta fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting
All
here
right.
holding my cat.
Consequences are not just your consequences in this particular case. Maybe keep that in mind.
Hey Keith, have a point of willpower back if you're not at full. I'm
I'm
very
not at
happy
full.
that good. That was good thinking, and way to make the right choice there, and not try and cast this advanced spell when you lacked the skill.
Oh, look at that positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
I also would give you a point of willpower, but I don't think you.
I haven't lost
Yeah, I
it.
think you're at full, but you would also get one for thinking. I should use my magic to make sure no one's listening to us. Pity you guys hadn't thought to do that at some of the earlier points in your journey.
Yeah.
I guess whenever we meet up as a cabal, we should probably be doing that.
Yeah.
Seems like a smart idea.
And any time that we talk about
What we saw.
events,
Yes.
should we come up with a code word? Mike and Ike.
Mike and Ike?
I don't know.
Sure.
How about anytime we talk about swing dancing?
Swing dancing.
Yes.
All right. Swing
Do
dancing.
any of us look like we would talk about that in a normal
Exactly
circumstance?
my point.
Then we'll all know it's not
Thank you,
just
Carter.
conversation.
They taught us all about that in summer camp, yeah. ICT class.
That does
Alright.
not surprise me.
Swing dancing.
Summer camps are weird, man.
Meanwhile, Zach, in his past, time for the hoedown, y'all!
Right?
Fun fact, when Stephanie was in first grade, part of gym was line dancing.
Fun
Texas.
fact. Natalie learned how to do square dancing in her home school.
We all know the old school dances again.
With
I
your
don't know anymore.
siblings?
Yeah.
That's awkward. Well, I guess it's square dance, so it's
Yeah, it's
not
not.
really that
Your
awkward.
partner,
It's
round
not
and
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I did swing dance with Keith when we were in college. There was a
Mhm.
class.
Yep,
It was good fun.
it was.
All right. Well, I think that we all have a better idea of kind of our group and some, I guess procedures in place for things that we're going to talk about.
Talk to
Nate's character,
Newton.
what's on his name?
Isaac.
I actually,
Isaiah.
yeah, Isaiah, I believe was
Isaiah.
his.
Isaiah.
Does anyone talk to Isaiah about what he wants to do?
You guys have not seen him for the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's dead.
I think he's still something happened to him.
He's dead.
Probably. It's unfortunate, but I wouldn't even know where to look for him. I don't even think we found out where he lived.
Nope.
So Newton was his, shadow name.
Isaiah.
No, Isaac.
Oh, did I get that backwards? Oh, no, never mind.
I read it wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting Newton from, because that is neither his given name, nor his shadow name, nor his nickname, even.
Let me guess, you wrote Isaac Newton.
Keith Wood.
No, I've
because-
got it back. I've got it Newton, Isaiah.
The only thing I can think is that you forgot that his character's given name is Nick.
Maybe that's what.
So you
maybe
thought you wrote
maybe I
Newton?
thought he said that at some point.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in reference to Newton. I don't know.
Anything else we need to discuss?
I wish you would text.
I wish I could too.
I mean, we can.
Wait, you don't know how to?
Well, my phone doesn't let me text.
I will buy you a new phone.
I don't want you.
I don't want to use a phone that can text.
If you are in an emergency, I don't think you want to spend the time trying to text a very complicated message when you could just call.
Yeah, but what if I just need you to be like, hey, we're doing a cabal meeting.
Then call me.
That's fair. What movie are we going to show this Yahoo?
Yeah, that's asking the important questions, Jericho.
I do what I can.
I would ask what you haven't seen, but
The answer to that is yes.
Anything-
I was gonna say,
Anything
it
that's
sounded
not
from last session. It sounds like the answer to that is anything after 1970.
should we jump straight into Inception?
Oh no.
Oh, that poor boy.
He's
That
not
poor
ready
boy.
for Inception.
We gotta warm him up a little bit first. That's next week.
Finding Nemo.
Little cocaine bear.
that's sweet.
A little bit of what he knows.
I don't
It's
know
not
that
yet.
yet.
It's 2019 stuff.
Dang it.
There is no cocaine bear yet.
Dang it.
I also haven't seen-
The story might be around, like what it's based off of, but
What's Spider-Man 1? What was around? I don't remember.
What happened pre-COVID?
what happened 5 years ago, Steph?
What are you talking
My
about? That was
father died in
2019 is
2019.
1 year ago. It was just last year.
Oh, I tell you what, there's that new one that's out. Knives Out. He would like that
was
one.
I actually haven't seen that.
Oh my
Have you
gosh,
not?
so old.
I
Yeah.
have
Then yes,
not.
we've got to do that one. It's 2019.
Like I could tell. It's so
Well, now we're making
on the
Natalie
list.
watch Knives Out.
In a theater?
I know, it's on the
or-
list.
I will happily
Is it in a
watch it with
theater?
anybody who wants to watch it.
Or are we?
The only reason I
No, we
I,
can stream it.
I like that movie. It's one of my favorite like
so
whodunits.
good.
It's so good.
I know,
I'm not
I've
a big
heard
fan
great
of the
things.
director in some of his other projects, but it's good.
When it comes to Knives Out, I will give him a pass because they've both been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
I
There
think
we
that's
go.
fabulous.
Do you resist, Zach?
No.
Like when we lectured Braden about Dragon Ball Z and the Super Saiyan levels, you just submit yourself to this, and you guys spend the rest of the evening watching Knives Out and any other movies that come to
Just
mind.
because I'm interested, can I try and roll to see if I figure out the twist before it comes?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's say you have to make a...
Twist to the twist.
Once it gets a little further into the evening, I'm gonna order pizza.
intelligence manipulation
It's fair.
at a -2.
So 1.
1 or a chance die?
1.
Okay.
This is like the most normal bonding time that our group has had.
And just
Yep.
because I'll get one by the end of the tomorrow morning, I will spend just a willpower.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I realized there's a better way to do this. You're gonna roll intelligence investigation.
Oh, intelligence investigation.
There's
That's
a skill
4.
for that. Again, at a
I'm
-2.
really 2.
-2.
I'll also spend a willpower just because I'll get it in the morning. So okay, it's 2 successes, double rerolls. 2 successes.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Okay,
Not like super long before, but like you figure it out a good.
I say nothing though.
Of course.
So.
The whole time I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Wait, it's that girl. Oh, you know what? It's that lady. But not like a lot. I'm just like, I got it. I know.
You're
All's
convinced you
probably
got it, but you
already
keep
seen
switching who was the.
Yeah, Jamal just sits there smiling like a Cheshire cat because he's probably already seen it
Oh
once.
yeah, I've already seen it too. So it's like
Ember is just immersed. She's not even trying to guess who's done it. She's just.
Also, an accent I really want to try and get good at is the
Foghorn Leghorn.
foghorn leghorn sort of one he does. So.
That still throws me for a loop every time I see
Right.
him doing that accent because I'm still just like, oh no.
My friends, we are trying here to just figure out why I'm here.
so. Ryan Johnson wanted Daniel Craig to have a different accent in every movie, and no explanation for it at
That would
all.
be fantastic.
Actually, would have been a funny choice.
Anyway, so you presumably all head home, except for the 2 of you who are at home. You wake in the morning.
You know, Piper?
Hmm?
What, like. If we decide,
Cereal
then
in the
what?
morning. I assume you just like message or text.
I mean, if you choose the Guardians, you might want to go with, like, a carrier pigeon.
If I choose the Guardians, I assume I could just step outside my door or pick up my phone and be like, to anyone who's listening, I'm sure they've tapped every. But I don't think I'll do that. I don't like being told what to do.
That's fair.
Plus they want to. Yeah. Anyway. I assume we just call or text somebody.
Like, hey, you
I'm
wanna,
in.
I don't know, haze me, whatever the beginning is for this.
What if you get a cool tattoo?
I'd be down for that.
What year did Divergent come out?
Oh, it's definitely out by
It's
then.
been out by now.
I'm like, do you get the idea like
I read the
Guardians is
books in high school.
Yeah.
So.
It was like the Dauntless.
Wait, like the little birds on the shoulder?
No, like remember they were like, oh, jump into the deep dark pool and just dumb. Like why? I kind of feel like
Oh,
the
you're like,
Guardians was a little bit
hazing.
like the Dauntless. Like they'd be like, oh, stab yourself with this knife, and it's a fake knife. Just like
It's a
stabbing my
willpower
cereal.
step.
See how many times you'll get bit by this snake before you pass out. The record's 5.
I was trying to say, the running record right now is...
I just learned real life, but also Piper learned about this tribe somewhere, where when you reach an age where you want to be an adult, you stick your hand in this anthill, and you leave them there, and they bite you a bajillion times, for like an hour, and then when you're done, you're considered an adult. And they said you're not considered a man because it's open to girls too. But the girls don't do it because they think it's stupid.
That is... Never has there been something that sums up the human experience more than...
That's funny.
It's open to the women. None of them do it because they think it's
Dumbass
dumb.
idea.
Like that reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. They'd be like, stick your hand in here and get bit
You're
like
like-
18 times.
But I have a brain.
At that point, I'd be like, made a different choice. So I don't know.
That's fair.
But I mean, are you ready to call someone up and just?
I don't know.
Were we told like what we're supposed to do when we decide? Or not really?
Alpheus said if you guys were interested in the free council, to give him a message and let him know. Other than that, Alpheus is still like your only real point of contact.
I would email.
You do?
So when I get up the next morning and stumble into my kitchen, start making coffee.
Why are you stumbling into your kitchen? Well, there's so much to drink last time.
You're not wrong.
Seen him
I
But
in the morning.
I
But
just
Keith,
stumbled.
yeah, I'm channeling my inner Keith.
Keith in the morning is like a new fawn.
It's like, don't talk to me until the coffee
Oh gosh,
has
I'm
kicked
rebirthed
in.
again.
So I get the coffee started, and I pull out my phone and I text Alpheus. I can't speak for any of the others of my cabal, but I'm interested in joining the Free Council, Dion, and send it off, and then stand there and watch the coffee drip drip into the pot.
Probably 45 seconds later. Ding! It's just a big thumbs up.
You're in.
You didn't notice that there were like 4 typos in your message.
Nope.
Can't speak for. Test of.
Want to join Feet Council.
All right, I'm gonna canonize right now. I'm writing this down.
I have some websites.
I would give you both an inspiration if I could.
All of a sudden, my phone starts getting.
Targeted ads.
It's like all of my targeted ads are for only feet.
What the freak is this website?
What? No.
I don't understand. Why?
Would
No,
like
but-
to join Feet Council.
Silver Ladder didn't reach out to me personally.
Nope.
So I'm like, can we see if they'll let me join you? Not you.
Wait, like you're
Just imagine.
Will you ask your recruiter if I can be recruited, please?
Yes.
hold up. Like you don't want me to say, hey, my friend wants a meeting. You just be like, hey, I'd like to join, please.
I assume that because we lived together, you told me all about your meeting. That you had.
I mean, I did.
I just texted them what is canonically what was sent.
Frame it there.
I love it so much.
Yep. Yep. That's amazing.
It's too bad I didn't send that one in the wrong chat.
Yeah, that one should have gone to the other chat. That's amazing.
Sorry, you were saying you assume.
I assumed you had your meeting with Silverladder.
Uh-huh.
Came back and told me about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So she's just like, what you told me sounds great.
Well,
Ember will be the new recruiter for.
they support reclaiming humanity's birthright. That's why I joined the deaf community, to help represent those who
don't have
don't necessarily
knowledge.
need my help, but I understand with them.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pretend like I have a place to stand and say, yes.
I'm just asking you to see if they are interested. If not, I'm gonna do the adamantine arrow.
I'll send him an email. Was it Schwinn that I met with?
Yes.
Schwinn, like the bike.
A man who was
But-
Lysander. I think, no.
No, because I met with somebody different from the original recruiter.
Yes.
Who was the original recruiter then?
Schwinn.
Great question. Who
It-
was the original recruiter?
Cicero.
Cicero.
It was Cicero.
Schwinn, so you guys haven't met Schwinn?
No. We met Cicero. We sat through the...
Well,
The group.
Jamal has met Schwinn because Jamal came up
Oh,
and
'cause
talked
you
to you at
were
the
like-
cafe, and then Schwinn came up.
Against him, be like, do you
Yes,
need
the
help?
rest of you had not
Twice.
met Schwinn.
That's fair. That's fair. I'd forgotten about that little interaction.
Yeah. But that was the extent of my interaction with Schwinn.
That's fair. Okay. Well, I'm gonna email Schwinn. Like, hey, might be interested in joining your order, and I think I should get extra points because I'm bringing someone with me.
Okay, she gets the swag for referral.
I get.
She gets the fruit basket.
And then yeah, so we'll see what they say. But
You go about your morning. Anything for the other two of you?
well, I gotta go to work.
I will
Yeah.
wait a moment, and then I will call Alphonse.
Alphonse.
Alpheus.
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 I just want you to call him Alphonse now.
So when he
Hey, you
answers,
Alphonse.
are you going to use me as a dictionary too?
No, I have one of those. I would be interested in joining the Free Council. That's my choice.
Oh, it's too bad you won't be able to join your friend. He'll be joining the Feet Council. I'll send the details by in a minute. And hangs up.
Okay. Feed Council.
So that was an option.
Is that Whimsy's new website she was talking about the other day? Because you canonically said you started.
You did. I have a note. I noted it.
Money, baby.
I'll go about my day.
I will. Jamal's got a little bit of time before he needs to start with different work things. He's gonna go to the gym
The CrossFit.
Right.
and hope that the right people are there.
Okay, so you go to the gym. Once again, you walk into that lobby. There's nobody there. There is a bell on the counter, but you also know that you can just walk past.
I just walk past.
All right, so you walk in, and what time do you get up?
I mean, he usually gets up early. He'll dedicate a lot of that time to art before he needs to start doing his plans for all the stuff that happens like later.
So when you get up, there are like probably 15 people in that gym area. They're stretching, and it looks like they have just gotten back from a run.
All right. Just gonna...
When you walk in, a couple of them like look at you, and then sure enough, not Gawain but Galahad is there. And he looks up. He's like, Jericho, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm sticking with for right now.
Yeah. What can we do for you?
I guess I'm kind of interested to see if I'm a good fit with you guys.
Okay.
If you'll have me for a little bit, see if you think I can cut the mustard, I suppose.
So, okay, what exactly are you asking here?
I'm interested in this order.
Okay.
I don't fully know if I've got skills that you can utilize, but I'd like to try it out and see.
I mean, if you're willing to put in the work, it doesn't matter if you have the skills or not. You can be taught.
Fair enough. Work doesn't scare me.
All right. I will. Just wait here a minute.
Okay.
And he will walk out, walk down one of the hallways.
And what actually happens is you hear behind the partition.
Great big Galahad.
5 minutes roll by. And Galahad comes back in. And he's like, "You just want to chill around for probably another 2 or 3 minutes."
Sure.
And then he goes back to stretching. A lot of them have finished stretching, and they're sort of packing up and leaving.
I feel weird, so I stretch.
And after a couple of minutes, Lysander comes into the gym. And he comes up and puts a hand on your shoulder. He's like, "So,
Adamant Sage.
I hear you're willing to join."
Yeah. A little apprehensive, but I'm excited to try and see if I can provide something you can use.
Glad to have you. We'll set up the details, so you can. I assume you have work.
Yeah.
So go ahead. We'll send along the details for you once we figure out exactly the logistics of it all. But we'll get you set up.
Awesome. Is there anything I need to do meantime? Or?
Not right now. By the end of the day, we should have you the details.
Okay. Sounds good. He'll do the like jive handshake.
Halfway through the day, so at what you would guess is his lunch break, you get an email back from Schwinn that says, "That sounds great. Happy to bring your friend along too." How confident, like how sure are they that this is what they want to go with?
I told them everything that you told me in our meeting, because they're my roommate. And they are pretty interested, but I imagine that she wants to, probably talk to somebody instead of just jumping in feet first, but I could be wrong. Fairly confident.
Just once you get back is, "Sounds great. We'll probably be in touch tomorrow with details."
Sounds good. Thank you. I'll text you at work because I know that you're not.
During some practice session.
I'll send you a screenshot of the email conversation.
Oh jeez, I look so desperate.
So, for each of you, when you get your information back, each order invites you to come down to their headquarters. So for my free council guys, this will be a little different. Obviously, the gym. For you two...
I didn't intentionally play a gym rat in this.
They give you the address for Burlington City Hall. And
all right.
It's in high places.
when you get there, it's like 2 p.m. Schwinn is waiting, and he takes you guys into the. So you go into the main lobby, but then you go down a little side staircase into the basement of the Burlington City Hall.
Okay.
And apparently the entire basement floor is the Silver Ladder headquarters, at least as far as you can tell. For each of you, well, for my free council guys, it's a little... They come to you.
Oh, jeez.
So they ask, they get your address, and they come out to you guys. Each of your orders introduces you to someone that will serve as your mentor to help sort of teach you the ropes. So, I believe, let me double check before I say things.
Think before you speak, or else.
For my Silver Ladder people, both of you will have the same mentor, and your mentor will be Schwinn. For Zach and Daniel, Zach, your mentor is Pain.
Yes! Yes!
Love it.
I am sorry. I was rereading. I would kite to join the Feet Council. Who's the mentor?
Daniel, your mentor will be Alpheus.
Nice.
Jamal, you are introduced to... you did see him sitting by one of the fires at the Adamantine Arrow meeting you went to. He is short, real wiry, but like real lean strength. He has like a military buzz cut and very pale, shockingly red hair. And his name is Erenion. Erenion.
Okay.
Schwinn. Like the bike.
It's interesting that you guys both got different mentors.
Really?
Everybody's mentor is a member of their same path. So since you are both acanthus,
Interesting.
yeah, since you are both acanthus, it's acanthus.
Oh.
It's a thyrsus and an acanthus, so it can't be the same
I didn't
person.
realize it was a
Interesting.
thyrsus.
That's cool.
Yes, Pain is a thyrsus. So, since you don't know anything about him, when he introduces... Erenion is one of the first Talons in the Adamantine Arrow.
He was one of the ones at the...
Yes, he was.
I remember this guy.
And he, obviously, is also an Obramos. So, for the next 2.5, 3 weeks, they set you guys up on sort of a training regimen. You still go to work and everything, but in all your free time, they give you a crash course. So, the first thing that happens is, at some point during all this, they have all 5 of you meet at the Adamantine Arrow headquarters, and they walk you out to that hallow.
Okay.
As you guys are heading out, they will sort of explain to you guys, like, we figure since it seems like you guys, the term I think I heard somebody using at one point was graduating class. You know now, Natalie, that this is spread far beyond you, and it's just being used by all sorts of people.
Started a trend.
Since you're in the same graduating class, we just wanted to do it like all at one time, and the Adamantine Arrow was gracious enough to allow us to use their hallow to explain this to you, and they will take you guys out. I'm going to explain to you guys mana, hallows, and oblations. So, as they get you guys settled down, they will explain to you. Mana is the energy of the supernal realm, the magical realm, that it is energy that slowly trickles into the fallen world and pools at certain locations. There's a whole bunch of theories as to where and how we have some understanding of how this works, but also sometimes it just shows up randomly. The important thing to note is that it pools here. Mana is important because mana enhances your spellcasting and can be used to increase your spell's potency. Mechanically, in order to cast a spell that is not one of your ruling arcana, you have to spend a point of mana. So all of you have at least one dot in arcana that is not listed as ruling. You can use that arcana, but it costs 1 point of mana just to cast a spell, even if you don't spend any more mana for other stuff. It is only your ruling arcana that you can just cast without spending mana at all. The other thing you can do is you can spend mana to cancel die penalties to your die pool for spellcasting. Each of you should have a maximum amount of mana that you can hold.
Where will that information be?
Should
Because
be.
it's not
Minor
on.
blank.
I have a slot
My-
for it, but
yeah, I have a
not-
slot for it, but it's blank.
I don't think
No
you've
number.
shared with us what our mana max is.
Okay, let me pull it up. It is based on your gnosis.
Okay, we can.
Okay,
use
well,
it.
what dictates our gnosis?
So we
Because
all
I
have
think each of
one
us have a
gnosis?
point.
Yeah,
My
I will
gnosis.
explain that in a moment.
And what was
Good
this?
gnosis.
We can take out a die in somebody else's pool. Was that?
You can spend mana to add a die back to the pool, so effectively negating the penalties that you incur.
Unless you've got a minus 12.
Well, okay, there's also
There are reasons for that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
so there's also another little bit that I will get here as soon as I pull it up. So, Gnosis. They will teach you. Gnosis is your overall understanding of the mysteries of magic and how the supernal realm is. It is your understanding of magical truth.
Magic understanding.
You will increase it in game terms by spending XP,
Okay.
but it has to be specifically arcane arcane XP,
beads.
which is specifically earned by solving magical mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Gnosis.
Magical mysteries. Magical mysteries of the universe. Dun, dun. Hold on, can Zach actually sing that? When did that come out?
Oh, that was long. Yes, he can. Oh,
Thunderstruck?
It
No,
was not
that's
in the
Crazy
70s.
Train.
Yeah, Crazy Train. It was not. It was after the 70s.
Oh.
So, like, maybe not, but it has existed in your lifetime, and it would be mind-boggling if you hadn't heard it.
Yeah. Where's the...
You say that, but
Okay, there it is.
I mean, you
I lived
do
in the
live in the
woods.
woods.
Alright, so at a Gnosis level of 1, you can hold a maximum of 10 points of mana in your pattern, which is like your being,
10.
and you can spend at most 1 mana per turn.
No, Zach would not know Crazy Train. That was 1980.
So 10 mana max.
Yep, and you can only spend 1 per turn at Gnosis 1. As you increase in Gnosis, it increases a whole bunch of different stats, one of them being how much mana you can hold at one time and how much you can spend in a turn. So, mana is super important. It's also not something that replenishes on its own. So, like, just because you go sleep does not mean you get mana.
It's
And that's
the
what
reason why
Hallows come in.
Hallows are.
Yeah. So there are 3 ways you can get mana. The most common method is through something called an oblation. So
That's never a good word.
an oblation is something that you is a task or a type of meditation, if you will, that you can perform at a hallow to harvest the mana directly from the hallow. At this point in each of your mentors will take you to the side and they will explain to each of you how your oblations work. All of you are taught a basic oblation that is basically just meditating.
Okay.
So, mechanically...
Is there a place to put this oblation? I was just seeing if there's like an oblation. Oh, no. Yes, no.
Maybe.
Sorry, it looked like it, but the.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff
Oh my gosh! Oh, there is a
Oh, there's a
mentor.
mentor spot.
Mentor merit. I should really look at all of the things on my character sheet.
now. Allies.
I think that's also stuff you get from like your character creation.
So,
We get familiar.
you can get a familiar. You don't automatically get one. It is
Well.
possible.
How do you spell obla thingy?
OBLATIONS.
OBL.
Oblations.
That is not how I've been spelling cabal.
How have you been spelling Cabal?
With
With
a
a
K.
K.
Yeah, it's with a C.
I like it better
Traditionally,
with
it's
a
with a
K.
C.
Yeah, I read it somewhere the other day, and I was like, oh,
Yep.
yeah, nah.
So meditating is...
So for all of you, meditating, which you can do at any hallow or other location where there is mana you can freely access, is a composure plus gnosis roll. For every success on the roll, you are able to harvest 1 point of mana as long as the hallow doesn't run dry.
So for each success, we get a mana?
You get 1 point of mana out of the hallow.
Oh, for each success or just...
Each
oh,
success. So if you roll really good, you can get a whole bunch all at once. Meditating takes about an hour to do properly. You can do it in a shorter time period, but it incurs penalties to the die roll. Now, hallows are not unlimited. Most hallows that people use refill slowly over time, but like each hallow has like a maximum amount of it that it can hold. So if that's like 3 and you get 5 successes, you can't get the other 2 points of mana out of it because they're just not there to take.
Okay.
Now, each of you is also going to be taught a type of oblation that is specific to your path. As part of your training, each of you your mentors would have tried to help you guys understand your path's view of magic. So, for my Thyrsus,
Yes, you do.
Payne describes the path of the Thyrsus as listening to and understanding the natural symphony of the universe. It is a manifestation of natural law, right? Predator chases prey, the circle of life, as it were. You're born, you die, and all the things that go into that, right? So like you have the herbivores who eat the grass, but then carnivores eat them.
Lion King.
Yeah, but then the carnivores die, and the fungus eats them, and like that, the cyclical, symbiotic nature of everything. For my Obramos, your path.
So, it's just understand.
No, hang on.
Oh,
I'm explaining
okay.
to you, like, because as they tried to describe to you. So, like, when you look at magic through Mage Sight, you are seeing things through the lens of, like, that natural cyclical nature.
Right.
For my Obramos, your approach to magic is about learning the secret names and laws of the universe and how to invoke them. Right? So, like, there is some underlying fundamental principle to everything. And once you understand that principle, you can use that principle to acquire what you want. Or to affect the change you want. Irenian describes it as, like, learning he describes it through the lens of the idea of, like, names have power. So if you can learn the name of the sun, you can then, command the sun to create whatever you need, like that sort of approach and idea to it. Make sense?
Ish.
So, like, for him, the way he describes it is like our approach, like the way the Obramos see magic is that magic is the process of unlearning the name or the commands of whatever phenomena you're studying.
The way I had it in my head before is if you understand the pattern that's happening, you can interfere with it.
Do you bring this up to him?
Yes.
Obramos are unique because there are 2 different ways that they can look at their path. One is a sort of quasi-mythological or religious way where it is like invoking the names of the 12 angels of fire to command them. The other way that you initially experience it is as divine machinery. The cosmos is a clockwork machine, and by understanding each individual part or pattern in that machine, you can then use that to create the outcome you need.
Yeah, I'm a machine guy, apparently not so much a name guy.
So as he describes it to you, you can, like, sort of... It's just not... It is not the natural inclination you have.
Yeah, so I'm translating from his experience there. Okay.
One of my Arcanthus is now in the bathroom, so we will get to you guys in a second. So, Thyrsus,
Yes.
your other oblation
Okay.
is eating.
Eating?
You can prepare a small... You can prepare a sacrament of meat and wine. It doesn't have to be special meat or special wine, but it does need to be raw meat
Oh,
and at least somewhat, not too terribly low quality wine.
And quality wine.
And if you take that and eat it at the Hallow and sort of meditate and like it's helping you become part of that like natural cycle, you
Yes,
can
to eat
harvest
raw
it.
Ew.
yeah.
The roll you will have to make for that,
Steak.
Hold on, what was that last part?
it makes you part of the natural cycle and
Oh,
will
okay,
let
okay.
you harvest it. So the roll you will have to make in order to do that, it is a composure. No, sorry, it is a resolve plus gnosis roll.
Oh, I have really good resolve.
Yes, you do. So, for my Acanthus, even though you have different mentors, they both explain it in sort of the same way. Acanthus magic sees the universe through the lens of, for lack of a better term, a story. Some people also call it sort of like the fractal geometry of the world, right? It's like the butterfly effect, where you can see the sort of like this action and the chain reactions it triggers down the road, and you are able to get a sense for what things are fated to happen and what things drive the story that everyone is a part of forward. So you are able to see that, and because of the unique position in Acanthus holds in that universal story, you can see the places where you can twist things, where you can push or nudge things onto a different track. You get to exist outside the rules of the story. You get to be Merlin to King Arthur and be sort of the outsider who is able to direct the flow of the story or direct those fractal quantum patterns into the probabilities and the outcomes you want. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Each of you... Okay, no. Alright, so we'll start with my two Silver Ladder people. Schwinn spends some time getting to know you guys, studying the way you do magic. He has a different oblation he thinks will work best for both of you. For Oris, he gives you a deck of tarot cards. And you can perform a tarot reading at the Hallow in order to harvest Gnosis. This is a manipulation plus Gnosis roll.
Oh, I'm bringing my tarot cards. Hold on. Sorry, so it's manipulation.
Plus Gnosis.
Ooh, okay.
Well, look at you.
I always have tarot cards on me.
For Whimsy, he thinks that the best Acanthus oblation for you is betting.
Is
I'm
what?
sorry?
Betting.
Oh, betting.
Betting. Not bedding. No, bedding is a Thyrsus oblation.
There's a Hallow in a mattress warehouse, and we all just get down and crazy.
No, but... And this actually goes for you and, although it's a different mentor, for you, Daniel, that Alphys is like, I think the way you... So, if you go to a Hallow and you place a bet on something, now you have to actually place a wager. So you have to uphold the wager, even if it's just with, like, the universe itself. So if you're like, I bet 50 cents, and then you lose the wager, you can't take the 50 cents back. But if you do that, you can also harvest. Betting is an important part of being an Acanthus because it is a test for you to be able to see how well you can understand the probability and the outcomes that are happening
That
around
does
you.
actually kind
For
of make
SP
sense.
fitted sheet, you managed to fold correctly.
Now, it is important to
I like
note
that
this bet
interpretation better.
has to be on
Balance in all
something
things.
that you have no influence on.
Okay.
It has to be so it can't be I bet that I can walk 2 steps. It has to be something that the outcome is outside of your control.
So like,
And you
I
can fail
bet
at.
the sun's gonna rise tomorrow.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay. So it's
But-
There's a really fair possibility it won't.
But you could like have a coin with you and be like, I bet that it's gonna come up heads,
okay. So
and then flip it.
does it still work even if we lose our bet?
Yes.
Okay.
All that's important
Is
is
that
that
you
you
have made the
you have a
wager.
bet, you uphold the bet.
Okay.
Because you learn just as much when you lose as when you win.
It's with the tarot card thing. That's what happened.
Yeah, all that.
My brain just.
How
You
does
just
the tarot-
make a tarot card reading for the Hallow. It
Yours
requires
is
no
easy.
real...
If you could be like, I bet you're gonna pull a major arcana. I could be like,
We could do it
Nope.
together. Be like,
So
I bet.
literally, yes, like one of the things that he would mention for the betting is like, so if you go with your other Cabal mates, like, they can be doing something and you can, like, one of them, their, Alpheus will give you this example, but, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes Lorcan's oblation would be like, I'm gonna see, like, you know, how long I can hold my hand on this hot coal or whatever. And I can bet on how long he makes it, and it works for both of us.
Good to know.
Okay,
Good
I
to
have a
know.
question. Does the bet have to be monetary?
No,
Okay, so like I could have pocket lint.
the bet has to have some sort of consequence or value to you.
Okay, so I
It
pull out a
can't-
penny.
Yeah, it can't be meaningless, right? It can't be like, I bet something that I don't even care if I lose. But it could also be like, I wager that, you know, in 2 minutes that glass of water will fall. And if it doesn't, I have to walk you to your car.
Okay,
That
so it
works, because
can
there's
be-
an actual cost that you have to uphold.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be an item. It can
No.
also be a usage of my time or something
Yes,
like that.
but
okay.
the important thing is it has to be something that you can't control the outcome of. So you can't bet on yourself. It has to be something, you have to wager something that means something. It can't be a meaningless thing. You can't wager the sun on your out. Like, it has to have actual meaning, and you have to uphold the wager.
Okay, so like if Piper and I went and I say, I bet that you pull whatever kind of card, and if I lose, I have to make dinner tonight.
I'm like,
Yeah, then as long as you uphold the wager, you get. Now, if like that happens, you get the mana from the Hallow, you go and you guys go to get dinner, and you don't, you lose the mana.
Interesting. This feels a little unfair, not gonna lie, but that's okay.
The trick here is yours does not. The wager does not require an hour. Everybody else's
Oh.
takes the full hour to get the full amount. Yours doesn't.
So
But
it's
it does
instant?
require you. Whenever whatever you wagered on is decided, so you know the outcome.
Okay,
That's
so,
when you get the mana, but you still have to uphold your end.
Okay, so what if I make a wager and I'm not going to be withholding it until that evening, like dinner making? Will I still get the mana, and then I'll just lose it if I don't make dinner? Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep. Once the
1 hour.
so the way that they both would explain it to you is that making a wager is an exercise in fate. And fate is very fickle and doesn't like it when you don't hold up your end. And you can't trick fate into being like, oh no, it wasn't the time when I was supposed to have my dinner. Like, fate knows. And if the time when you had the opportunity passes, fate is not happy.
Fate's like,
Yes.
no.
Oh, I know.
And what was that roll?
Interesting.
That is a wits plus gnosis.
oh, mine was manipulation. So I would do like an hour-long tarot card reading
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Or like you could do the tarot card reading, but then you have to sit there and sort of think about it. It takes basically, except for that specific one, because it's a little more conditional. It will take a full hour. You can do it in less time, but there's a die penalty to represent you not having as much time to get as much mana.
So we don't have that. We don't have the potential for that because it's instant.
Right.
But
if you don't
But we've
uphold
got
your
the-
end, you
we
lose
have-
it later.
we have a different downside.
And like let's say you're like, oh, I'm gonna be sneaky. I'm gonna spend the 2 points of mana before it would have come up. So then it'll take what it's owed.
Yeah.
Even if if it pushes you negative, it starts taking points of willpower.
Yeah.
Fate will take what it is owed from you.
That, I mean, that's
Defined
With the sacramental thing, do I have to just have meat and wine, or can it be like sushi and wine?
Oh, sushi's fine. Like that. The important thing is it has to be raw meat
Okay,
and wine. The wine.
has to.
It
be,
doesn't have to be wine. There is a second option, but most people don't opt for it. It's either got to be wine because that symbolically is blood. So it's got to be blood or it's got to be wine.
You're about to frequent them.
So like you could do it as blood if you wanted, but most people just take the wine option.
My question would be, does sake count? Because
right.
sushi and sake.
I mean,
Sure.
technically
It is
rice-
technically
rice
wine.
So there you go.
What about like blood pudding?
Oh,
Would that count?
Interesting.
That would be the food, not the.
Well,
Also,
That
So
would-
it wouldn't count for the blood?
I think
No, it's
that's
gotta be in liquid
part
form.
2.
Also, that's not. Blood pudding's not nice.
No.
For-
but, I mean, this isn't my problem.
For my Obramos. Irenian will teach you not only an Obramos oblation, but one that is specifically unique to the adamantine arrow.
Okay.
You light a candle or some other form of fire,
And you wait for it to burn.
and you watch over the fire and keep it burning. As long as you do that, as long as you are defending the fire and ensuring that it continues to burn, you can get yours.
okay, now it's a situation where we meet up, and while you wait by the fire, I'll do a tarot reading for you, and then I'll do me.
Yes.
I'll
this
make
is-
a bet on something. That's
so
going
that
on.
roll is resolve plus gnosis.
Oh,
Should be pretty good, I think. I'm pretty sure I chose one that specifically each one of you would be pretty. No, is your
My wits is 1. Although I don't know why, because I feel like that's something that should be higher for me, but I also feel
resolve.
like. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a 2 resolve, so like it's not. I guess
I've
it's
got
one
really
of the
good
lower
wits,
ones,
so,
but
But it's not
I'm good at
1.
mine.
it's not 1. But none of mine are 1.
if you want, you could change your special one he teaches you to be the tarot card, or it's any form of divination. But I do remember now that I thought you would prefer the wager where you could get it
Do
over
like
fast.
the wager one.
And you can learn the other ones. Like learning an oblation takes some practice. I can't just like tell you how to do it and then you magically. So basically, like you could learn each other's over time, but in the brief training I'm giving you guys right now, you do not have time to learn more than the basic one that everybody learns and one special one.
I'm fine with keeping this for now.
Okay, so that's oblations, that's mana. Ha!
there's lots of divination stuff.
I was gonna say, if you have a preferred type of divination that you'd rather do, tarot card seemed the easiest
For me, tarot
to,
card
yeah.
is my fit. I have like 7 decks, but I need to go get another one for this.
It needs to be
Specific
specific.
person.
So,
We need to go shopping.
you also each gain 1 dot in a skill. Each order does sort of a little assessment of you and picks a skill that they think would be important for what they tend to do and that you are lacking in. Whimsy, the silver ladder, teaches you 1 point in socialize.
Sorry.
Piper,
Oh, okay.
you get 1 point in politics.
Ew.
Jamal, you already have at least 1 point in pretty much most of the skills that the adamantine arrow, at least for new recruits, is like, these are really important. So they're actually going to give you 1 point in occult. As you just pick up general, like, magical, superstitious type stuff.
Like, did I need one in brawl or firearms? Because I got nothing.
Not
there.
not as a
Survival.
base, not as
Okay,
a
not
base. Like yeah, and they will continue to help train you, but like just as a new recruit in like your first initiation training, they're like, we usually focus mostly on like athletics, and you're fine.
It feels a little bit like in D&D when you are like, okay, I got my character stat, like character additions, and then now
Yeah.
I've got like my
Yep.
background.
It is-
my
it is very
acolyte,
much
and
this way.
I got a plus to this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For Zach, the Free Council feels like the most important thing that they could teach you right now would be science. So you get a point in science.
Yes, plants.
Daniel, as you already have points in almost all of the skills that the Free Council thinks would be important for you to have at least a baseline at, you also get 1 point in occult.
Okay.
They also, each order teaches each of you something called high speech. High speech is, as best as they can tell, the closest language on Earth to the language that would have been spoken in ancient Atlantis. For my Free Council people, they don't explain it that way, because a lot of the Free Councils sort of like, we don't even know if Atlantis was really a whole thing. They explain it to you as like, it is the closest language we have to like what would be the supernal ideal language.
Okay.
Importantly, there was a scroll that one of you tried to read at the Adamantine Arrow hideout when you guys went to your meeting, and you couldn't read it. It was written in high speech.
Okay.
This also dovetails nicely into one other thing. Your mentors will explain to you how to enhance your spellcasting. The first way they're going to teach you is the use of something called yantras.
Okay.
This is not a word I picked. I'm not sure where it comes from, but
I did see that out here.
yeah.
Here it is. Yeah.
So, at a Gnosis level of 1, you can only use one yantra per spell that you're casting, but the way yantras work, yantras are preparations or symbolic methods you use that make it helps you better focus your spell or channel like the supernal truth, so it will enhance your spellcasting. Now, for example, if you take the time to write out your spell in like high speech runes in like a spellcasting circle, that adds a +2 bonus to your spellcasting.
So it's like a focus.
Exactly. There are lots of ways you could do this. Like, it could be a particular place that is, like, symbolically connected to the spell you're casting. It can be a time of day that is symbolically connected to it. But the thing that it tends to be the most, especially when you're first starting out, when you can only use one yantra, it tends to be a magical tool. So, they will explain to you that, in general, most mages find that there are 5 tools that they use that are the most symbolically representative of spellcasting. Give me just a sec, because that's on a different page on here.
Is there a place? There's not a place in town to get tarot decks, not any.
Maybe Earthly Awakenings.
We just heard
That's the
about
second
that.
time we've heard that name
It's a
today.
sign. We need to go there.
Okay. Like I know them better for rocks and whatnot, but like they've got other alternative stuff there, so they might. If not, there are some places down south.
So, the first tool is coins. Coins are representations of material wealth and are often symbolically used to help with spells that involve construction, repair, inanimate or intangible things that last beyond human lifespans.
Is it?
So,
We'll get to some of the
Okay.
details.
Say that one more time, sorry.
So it's coins, which are symbols of material wealth that represent construction, repair, and inanimate or intangible things that last beyond mere human lifespans. The second tool is cups.
This feels familiar.
Cups invoke healing,
Yep.
intuition, perceptual magic, and gathering together. As a side note, drinking from a shared cup is the most common way to spread a spell among a group.
Yeah, sounds good.
COVID's not around yet.
The third tool type is mirrors.
Oh.
They represent sight, soul, and the self, and are the magical tool most commonly used when mages work a spell at a distance. The fourth type is rods.
Yep.
Pointing a rod is a way of singling out a specific victim, while holding one is a symbol of rulership and command.
Yep.
Lastly, there are weapons. Most commonly a knife. That are symbols of thought-made action, and any spell that takes direct, decisive action on the world can benefit from a weapon.
Highly influenced by tarot.
Oh yeah. Now, there's a little note here with these. Those are like the mythical, like, oh, the traditional category. It just has to be something, your mentors explained, it just has to be something for you that symbolically represents it. So even if it doesn't strictly fall into the proper category, as long as you can justify to me, the DM, how it is symbolically connected to the spell you're trying to cast, you get the benefit.
Meaning, like, do I carry around 5 things and use the correct thing for the spell, or meaning like we get one?
No, you can carry around 5 things. Now, there's one other note. At a base, using a tool that symbolically represents what you're trying to do gives you a +1 bonus. You can get another +1 to that bonus if it is made of a material that is representative of your path. For my acanthus, this means tools made of glass, crystal, silver, or reflective materials.
Glass, crystal,
Silver.
Silver.
material. Okay.
And as far as weapons go, other like types of weapons that can invoke this are rapiers, bows, or precision weapons.
Okay.
Make sense? Okay. For my Obramos, the materials that are most connected to your path are steel, petrified wood, gold, or other refined materials.
The refined materials?
Other refined, so like any other material that would be considered like refined.
Like plastic.
Plastic works, anything that would need to have gone through like a purification and refining process.
Makes
Would
sense.
like any hammered metal count then? Because that
If it's
refines
just
as it's-
iron. Like, it doesn't count if it's like, oh, we took the ore and turned it into like pure iron. Because iron, like, you can cold forge
pull that
iron.
out, okay.
It does not require a refinery to produce.
So any alloy
Yeah.
would require, okay.
Again, the symbolic and sort of thematic thing is it should invoke the idea of like a refined or perfected material.
Okay.
As far as weapons go, it works for a double-edged sword, a spear, or any other weapon that you can argue to me is a noble weapon.
Ooh. Question. What if I had a key ring with essentially keychain versions of those things? But
In most cases, yeah, that would probably be fun.
does it have to be meaningful to me?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
I also have a question. So, if we were trying to cast a spell in a pinch, say, and there happened to be something nearby that we could justify, like it happened to be like a silver rapier for the acanthuses, would that work?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be something that you carry around with you or that you
We'll
have.
get to that.
Okay.
That is the there's I have to give Braden his stuff. There's one more subsection just for my free council people, and then we'll touch on that.
Got it.
For my Thyrsus, your materials are wood, copper, stone, or any natural material.
That's cool. I like that. Makes sense.
Okay.
Your weapons are the axe, the sling, and any hunting weapon. Also, you may notice that there's some overlap between like stuff that could count for you and for... That's intentional. The thing here is not to give you each like your own little lane. It's to be like, it needs to invoke your path's like theming and philosophy. For my two free council people.
Okay.
The free council will teach you guys something that the other orders don't. Not that you can't share this with your companions, but the traditional orders don't touch on this the way that they do.
Okay.
Give me a sec, I have to switch to a second PDF. On the upside, guys, we're almost done with all the like mechanical magic nonsense.
I
then
did
the
not
story
have enough
can
time
begin.
to write the cups, mirrors, and rods down, so I'm just gonna have to like do that in between.
It's okay, because honestly, the way that works is you just have to justify to me how whatever you're grabbing and using, even if it's a red solo cup off the ground, how it symbolically represents the type of magic you're trying to perform.
Okay.
If I can be like, I can see how that helps you symbolically connect with the idea, then
we're
it's
good.
golden.
Okay.
A little bit of a reverse Green Lantern-esque.
Yes.
Instead of me coming up with the what, like being like, oh, I see.
Yeah. The important thing is, remember that this is not required to cast a spell. It is a method to make it easier to focus your spells, hence why the important thing here at the end of the day is you can justify to me how it helps your character better envision what they're trying to do with their magic. Okay, you guys are informed by the Free Council. They're like, hey, so there's something we call the Ars Novum, the new magic, that is how to use the thematic connecting of modern conveniences to your type of magic. Again, you are free to share this. with you can share this with your other Acanthus friends. I'm sorry, you two, you don't have someone in the Free Council currently who is teaching you this. You'd have to ask them out specifically. So, for my Acanthus, examples of other things that could be used as, like, coins, a defaced silver dollar, a poker chip, things like that. Things that denote material wealth and gambling. Example cups for the Acanthus could be a plastic novelty cup or a whiskey glass.
So basically, anything modern can be.
No, we'll get there.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, this is for Acanthus.
This is for
This is for
me.
Acanthus, not for
I
Thyrsus.
shall ignore you.
Your mirrors could be things like a makeup compact, or a rear view mirror in a car. Your rods could be minute hands of a clock, or a halogen flashlight.
So this is specifically coming to me, and if I wanted to share it with these two, I could.
Yes.
So minute hands of a clock, and what would?
A halogen flashlight.
Just writing it down so I don't have to later if you choose to share the
Some other examples of weapons that fit your path would be a switchblade or a blackjack.
A blackjack?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the.
It's like the things that cops carry. They're nightsticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, vehicles that would be appropriate for your path are things like a bicycle or a classic beetle.
That's funny.
For my Thyrsus, examples of things you could use as a coin that are more modern would be bottle caps or dog tags.
Okay.
Cups could be a survival canteen or a homemade cup.
Okay.
Mirrors could be things like reflective glass and polished copper plates.
Okay.
A rod could be a length of copper pipe or a wooden staff decorated with urban symbolism.
I.e. graffiti.
Okay.
Additional weapons that would qualify that are more modern would be a survival knife or poison.
Oh, I have survival knife. Yeah.
I wondered where poison would fit in.
I thought you were gonna say poison.
Poison's a little
Oh,
weird because
poison.
there's technically two paths that it
probably
straddles the line on.
I believe that.
I have poison.
And vehicles that would be appropriate for performing your magic of your path would be ATVs or a classic Land Rover.
And probably the Flintstones car.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness. That's a lot of information. Oh.
I can give you guys, so those were the main ones. There are a couple, it's not like descriptions, it's just a few short things, if you guys want them, of some other stuff that thematically falls within your path. It's things like what tarot card, what Chinese element, what Western element, what color, what jewel, what plant, what animal, what mythic beast, what fragrance. Do you guys want this?
I'm good.
I'd be interested in it, but
Can
you
you
just
send
Yeah,
it
you
to
can
me?
just send it to us, or
It's a
have
whole PDF. This is one page in a whole PDF that covers this. If you want it, I can just give it to you real fast.
Yes.
Or hold on. Just snap a picture of it and we can just.
Oh, that's a good
That's-
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like screenshot that crap and
Yeah,
send it
screenshot
on.
it. And
I was like, I can send it to you, but it's like a 144 page
Yeah, no,
thing, and it's
just
one page in it.
Screenshot it and send it.
Just thinking with your whole brain.
There's a store called House of Witchcraft
Which one? Where is that?
here in London.
Really? Huh. That must be
That's-
new.
But there's a lot of people who were real not excited.
I'm
Which,
sure.
okay, maybe that's why nobody knows about it. They keep the advertising real low.
That's fair. But I know people who would definitely know. That's interesting. They had them at the place in in the mall too, but I don't know if that place still exists.
Does
If
the
they
mall
found
still
another,
exist?
the mall doesn't. I don't know if they found another location.
Gotcha.
Because like I know some of the stuff just moved, but they had some cool like decks and stuff like that. But I don't
Okay.
know if they've just moved.
There's one last magical mechanical thing that we have
mule.
to cover. However, it is the most exciting because these are easy spells for you guys to cast.
Yay!
Okay. Alright.
Each order will teach you several rotes. Rote spells,
That somewhere.
instead of the sort of like improvised spells that you just tell me what you want to do and you roll on the fly. Rote spells are a more codified and specific type of spell. They're more like D&D spells.
Okay.
The advantage to them is two things. One, every order teaches you how to cast this spell using a specific skill as a sort of mantra to how to do it. Meaning you get to add all your points in that skill to the die pool for the roll.
Okay.
The second valuable thing, in your spellcasting thing, it will talk about reach. Reach is basically how many times you can modify a spell. Like, spells at a base level, when you go to cast them, are like, they take a super long time, they can only affect yourself, and they last for like 1 round. In order to increase those things, or to cast them like, and you can only cast them in touch. In order to modify any of those, you have to spend reach, and depending on how good you are at that type of magic, you get some that you get to spend for free. And after that, every one that you spend after that increases the chance that you pull an evil void monster in with your spell. A rote spell gives you a number of free modifications of the spell as if you had a full 5 dots in that type of arcana.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So you can modify these better. So, to start off with, we are starting with Zach. I'm going to read you the name and the arcana and level of the spell, and then I will tell you what skill, or give you a choice on some of these of the skills that you learned it with.
Okay.
After we have told everybody the names of theirs, I will then send you all pictures of the descriptions of what your spell does.
Okay.
So, Zach,
Okay.
your first spell that they teach you
Alright.
is called Exorcist's Eye. It is a spirit arcana spell.
Okay.
It is a level 1 spell,
Okay.
and you can either have learned this spell using the Socialize skill or the Investigation skill.
Let's go investigation. I'm gonna put that in rote skill.
Yep.
Okay.
The second rote spell they teach you is called Know Spirit.
Okay.
This is a spirit arcana spell.
Okay. Level 1, I assume?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can use either your choice of science or investigation to cast this.
We're gonna do investigation again.
Right, the mythical beast for the acanthus is a unicorn.
I did
Yes,
see
it is.
that.
Yep.
Pink fluffy unicorns.
I mean, honestly,
Rainbows.
most of the people at this table, I was pretty sure where you were going to wind up. Natalie was the only one I got wrong for which path I thought she would wind up
Which
on.
one did you think I was gonna
Mastigos.
cast?
I don't know. You thought I would. Oh, you thought Braden would go a different way.
Braden would, I think. Zach definitely would not.
Yeah.
Oh, I see why you think that. Looking at some of these.
Yep.
And one more.
2 more. The next one is Control Instincts.
Okay.
It is a life arcana spell. It is level 2.
Oh. Okay. And I'm gonna guess it's either going to be medicine or crafts.
Animal Ken or Persuasion.
Animal Ken.
Okay.
Okay.
Your last spell is Night Vision.
Okay.
This is a Forces spell.
Okay. Level.
Level 1.
Okay.
And you can either use Science or Stealth.
I'm probably gonna have to go science because I don't have any in stealth. So, what?
Alright, Jamal.
Jamal.
The first spell that the Adamantine Order teaches you is called Pierce Deception. This is a prime spell. It is level 1. And you can use either investigation or empathy. Also, that's
we're
not...
going with empathy.
Okay, I was about to say, that's not an... Whenever you want, you get like right now you get to pick which one you wanted to have learned with it.
Yeah, it just took me a second to find.
No, it's all good. I realized I may not have made that clear.
Yeah, I have none in investigation and like 3 in empathy.
That makes sense for you.
Yeah.
The second spell they teach you is called Wards and Signs.
Good.
This is a prime spell. It is a level 2 spell. You can either use intimidation or survival.
Let's see, where are we here? Oh wait, those are the big ones, aren't they? Nope.
Nope, those are the skills.
Oh. Oh. Well, it doesn't matter because I have none in either of them.
You don't have any in intimidation or survival? Take that dot out of occult and put it in one of those two then.
I feel like survive. Well, maybe. I don't know which one Jamal would pick.
I mean, if you want, I can pick one for you, and it's whichever one your mentor decided you needed to learn.
Yeah.
Intimidation.
Okay. That does make sense. Okay, so intimidation it is.
The next spell is Kinetic Efficiency. This is a Forces spell. It is a level 1 spell. And it uses athletics.
At least have one there.
The last spell they teach you is called Oaths Fulfilled. Sorry. It is called. This is a Fate spell at level 1. It uses empathy. Daniel.
Yeah.
The first spell they teach you is called Reading the Outmost Eddies.
It's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Thankfully, all the rest of them are not.
I don't need the creator, so it's fine. I'll just...
This is a Fate 1 spell. And it uses either science or investigation.
Science!
The next spell they teach you is Speak with Dead.
Huh.
How's that not a spirit?
This is a Death Arcana spell.
Oh, okay, understood.
It is a level 1, and you can use Persuasion or Investigation.
Persuasion. Who knew selling advertising would come in handy for talking to dead people?
The next spell they teach you is Locate Object.
That's gonna be helpful.
This is a Space 1 spell.
Worst case.
And it uses Science or Crafts.
Crafts. Very much crafts. Because I have 4.
Yes, you do.
Dang.
The next spell they teach you is green light, red light.
Okay.
This spell lets you manipulate timing things, so like you can hit all green lights, or you can cause somebody to hit all red lights, or you could cause an elevator to stop at every floor.
I would abuse the crap.
I'm guessing this is a time spell?
This is a time 1 spell.
But you just cut me up.
Your skill choices are either computer or larceny.
Wow.
Computer.
And the last spell they teach you is called Perfect Timing. Can you guess which arcana this is?
Time?
Time indeed. At level 1. And using crafts or science.
Crafts.
Okay, Piper.
Yes.
Well, now that you've had your outburst, we'll move on. The Silver Ladder, the first spell they teach you is called One Mind, Two Thoughts.
Okay. Okay.
It is a Mind 1 spell,
Okay.
and it uses academics.
So under okay. 3. Do I do it? Is that a rope? Wait.
It is the rote skill, is academics.
Okay. Oops.
I wouldn't write the number, because the number might change if you improve your skills.
Gotcha.
The second spell they teach you is called Emotional Urging. It is a Mind 2 spell.
Okay.
It uses either Subterfuge or Persuasion.
Or what's the same? We'll use subterfuge.
Let's use Subterfuge. Persuasion.
Okay.
The next spell they teach you is called Momentary Flux.
Ooh. Okay.
It is a Time 1 spell,
Okay.
and it uses Investigation or Empathy.
Oh, we're using empathy for sure.
The last spell they teach you is Reading the Outmost Eddies.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, same as me.
Outmost eddies.
This is a Fate 1 spell,
Okay.
and the Silver Ladder version of it uses Empathy or Socialize.
Empathy. Let's use empathy.
Okay, that's it. Ember. Your first spell is Exceptional Luck. It is a Fate 2 spell.
Okay, so Arcanum, Fate,
Yep.
and then 2.
And it uses Occult or Socialize.
And that's going to go in Creator?
No, that's going to go in Rote skill.
Okay.
Don't worry about Creator.
Okay. Sorry, what did you say again?
Occult or Socialize. The best part is I'm sure nobody on the recording will be able to hear that, so we're all just jamming out for no reason.
Dancing for
Okay,
nothing.
socialize.
So it wouldn't be quite so loud.
The second spell they teach you is called Serendipity.
Okay.
It is a Fate 1 spell, Academics or Empathy.
Okay.
The third spell they teach you is Divination.
Ooh.
This is a Time 1 spell.
Okay.
Empathy or Investigation.
Okay.
The last spell they teach you is Mental Scan.
Cool.
This is a Mind 1 spell.
Like we're taking Wednesday to Vegas.
And it uses Empathy or Investigation.
Okay.
Alright, I can send you guys pictures. We can also get some of this printed out for the next time we play. But I am also sending each of you... There is a link to a webpage I will send you that has all the information for these spells on it, for those of you who want to navigate a webpage to find them.
Okay.
Just give me a second to pull it up so I can give you the correct link. If you use the web page, there's just one important thing. Make sure that anytime you go to one of the pages, it is the 2nd edition version and not the 1st edition version.
Good to know.
I really thought you were gonna say, don't click on the sketchy link that pops up or something like
No,
that.
it's
also
just
don't do
this.
that.
This is a huge codex of like all of them. There's a 1st edition and a 2nd edition, and they have a lot of similar names, but they work in 2 completely different ways.
I looked up Codex of Darkness so I would know what mine were. So is that the place you're sending?
Yes.
I did not check that.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
the only important thing is make sure it's on the 2nd edition, and of course you didn't, because you wouldn't have known that there's another edition that
No.
the words will be like exactly the same, and they use the same like game phrases. They just work differently. It's really confusing. Is there anybody who doesn't want to use the webpage?
I mean, I like having things in front of me.
Do you want me to send you pictures, or do you want to use the webpage till we can get you like written out or
Pictures will
printed?
work fine,
Pictures will work.
yeah.
Okay.
I
We'll
go home and
grab
print
yours.
my Ishkabibble out, and also the spells for tomorrow that I have forgotten for Monday.
You know, it happens sometimes.
Danny, what's the first spell I gave you?
Pierce Deception. Words and signs. I like that we have like a whole Charlie Brown thing going on here.
Yeah, mine. That's like unheard sound that nobody knows.
I love it.
What's the second one, Danny?
Words and signs.
Words and signs. That's
Some
right.
satanic panic.
Yeah, we're all possessed.
We're all hearing that music.
Yep.
What's the third one?
Kinetic efficiency.
That's a forces spell, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm pretty good that just from the names I can usually tell which arcana that's covering.
I mean, it makes sense. Okay.
Alright, what's the last one?
Oath's fulfillment.
Ah, that's a fate spell.
Yes.
I will send these directly to you, Danny.
Thank you, thank you.
I also apologize to anyone watching and for my players that we had to sit through that, and that there was one other thing I forgot, so there's actually one more little thing, but it's not as complicated. But it's important because you might need these here shortly.
Uh-oh.
Don't
Ruh-roh.
say that.
Da-da-da.
Don't lie to yourself.
Oh. I sent it in the chat with you in it too, Keith. Congratulations, you get to see Danny's spell descriptions.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can help me remember the cool shit I can do.
Okay. What? You have a level 2 Arcana, right?
Oh, that's weird. Me?
No.
I
Steph.
have a thing called Arcana.
Yes, you do. And is one of them at 2 dots?
Yes, mine.
Okay. Everybody but Keith. Okay.
Yeah, everybody
So-
but me.
There are something that they are going to teach you. You don't worry too much about writing all of this first one down. It is something called, these are something called attainments. These are like special abilities that you just learn how to do when you get to a high enough level in an arcana.
Okay.
If you have a single dot in an arcana, you know enough about how that arcana works to try and counterspell somebody else casting a spell in the same arcana.
Okay.
So, if you see someone trying to cast a time spell, You can try and you will make a roll using your gnosis plus your time. They will make one using their gnosis and their time. If you succeed, if you beat their number of successes, you basically nullify their spell as they're trying to weave it.
So it's Gnosis plus Arcana?
Yeah. Now, you can only do this if it is the same Arcana that you know. So if somebody uses a type of magic you don't have any dots in, you can't try and counterspell it.
Got it.
Now, at 2 dots, there is a special thing that you learn for each of the Arcana. So, Steph, yours is Mind, right? Okay. You don't need to necessarily write this down. This is one that I can just remember, but just so you know, this mage can see Goetia, or other astral entities. These
Gosha.
are Gosha. Is that how it's pronounced?
I watch Hell of a Boss.
Okay, that makes so much good. You can sense.
Also very fun.
You can see Gosha and other astral entities. Astral entities are thoughts given form, and beings using supernatural powers to project out of their bodies with your active mage sight. So basically, because you have a good understanding of mind magic, you can see entities that are thoughts in the space around you, even if they are trying to be hidden. Other people who don't have that level can't, without casting a spell, see them. Goetia. That's a... For the longest time, I have not been sure how that's pronounced, because it is spelled so weird.
I mean, this is assuming that Hell of a Boss got it right. Who knows?
It's better than what I was saying. It sounds more right. Braden, you have
I
two
have
in
two
life.
yes.
You can spend mana to heal yourself.
Okay.
You can spend a point of mana to heal up to 6 points of bashing damage.
Hold on. Okay.
So up to 6 points of bashing, which is like bruising and
Yep.
minor, or up to 3 points of lethal damage.
Nice.
Ember, what's your level 2 Arcana? Is it Fate?
Fate.
You can spend an extra point of mana when casting a spell to add a conditional duration. So you can basically spend an extra point of mana when you cast a spell to say this spell ends when it normally would, or when the following condition is met.
Nice.
There's a lot of leeway there.
There is. Now it's important to note this is like whichever one comes first, right? So if you cast a spell that's only going to last 2 rounds, you can't be like, or until the heat death of the universe and now it lasts forever. But you can be like, this spell will last until you get healed all the way, or like,
Okay.
So it's whichever one it hits first, but you get to give a second optional thing that could end the spell.
That's kind of cool.
Prime, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. Fun fact, Danny. So Prime Arcana, I think I heard you say earlier you forgot what Prime is. Prime is Prime is the Arcana of magic in general and the fundamental underlying powers of magic. The second level Prime attainment is you can universally counterspell. You can use your dots in Prime to universally counterspell any type of magic. Keith does not have any level 2 Arcana, so he doesn't have one of these yet. Keith, the level 1 is if you see somebody casting a spell using an Arcana you can try and counterspell it. They roll the Arcana plus Gnosis, you roll the Arcana plus Gnosis. Whoever gets more successes wins.
Got it. Okay.
The second thing, for all of my level 2 people... sorry, Keith.
It's okay.
You learn how to create a form of armor around yourself using your Arcana. Casting Mage Armor requires a point of mana to activate, and it remains active for the scene, or until you fall unconscious or you die. A scene is sort of like an encounter. So,
Okay.
like, the meeting with at the Free Council, that all would have been one scene.
Makes sense.
Okay? So you can activate it, and it will last for one scene. Activating it does cost you a point of mana, however.
Okay.
So if you don't have mana, you can't activate it. Now, my person with 2 in mind. Steph, this is you. Your mind armor causes minute doubt and hesitations in the mind of an enemy. It allows you to add your mind arcanum to your defense.
This is under attainment.
Yes.
Add mind to defense.
Yep. In addition, if a mage dodges a target's attack, you can spend a point of mana to cause that target to gain the beaten down tilt, which makes them more likely to run away from a fight. It is important to note this type of armor will protect you from anything that is consciously choosing to do something. So if someone points a gun at you, this helps cause them to miss. If a rock is falling out of the sky, mind armor does not help you.
Gotcha.
Life armor for you, Braden. Life armor adds half the character's life rating, rounded up, as both general armor and a bonus to defense.
Okay, one more time. Life armor.
Life armor adds half of the character's life rating, rounded up,
To defense.
as both general armor and as a bonus to defense.
Okay.
Fate armor. Fate armor adds the fate rating to your defense, and it works against firearms. In addition, if you successfully dodge an opponent's attack, you can spend a point of mana to add your fate dots as a weapon rating on the mage's next attack. Basically, it makes your attack deal more damage if you dodge successfully. And lastly, Prime Armor. Prime Armor reduces the damage of all supernatural attacks by the character's Prime dots. So if any supernatural effect would damage you, you just reduce the amount of damage it dealt by your dots in Prime. For this game, that is a particularly powerful thing, provided it is supernatural damage. Unfortunately, if a mage shoots a gun at you, that does not count as supernatural.
Fair enough.
Now, if they, cast a spell to fling fire at you, sure. And now we're done. I thought you guys might like to know that you have access to extra defenses in case you get in a fight.
That
Armor's
seems
good.
important. Yeah.
I do.
So during all of this training time, I assume we recharge our mana pool? Do we get a chance to do that?
Yes. So you all, if you do not already have it, go all the way up to your full amount of mana you can carry. From this point on, however, you will have to figure out a way yourselves to get more mana.
Oh,
I mean, apparently it's outside the gym, so that helps.
You can't use that without the Order's permission, and they normally don't let people use it very often except during the once-a-month meeting. Because they use it to let everybody recharge once a month. It is not something that you can just use whenever you want. I mean, you can, but if they catch you using it, they're going to be upset.
I would ask then my dude, where are you?
Your mentor,
My mentor, whose name is...
Whatever.
Irenian.
Yes. Irinian. Like if there are places that you go in between where it's easy to power up.
Depends if your Cabal has access to one or not.
Like balls full of people who have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Then you guys, the only option you have would be to convince somebody to let you use theirs.
How do you find one?
Look for weird magical stuff. Weird magical locations.
To the boathouse. No.
You can-
I wouldn't want to use that.
You can use your mage sight to search an area to see if mana is pooling there, but typically they are only going to pool in places that are particularly noteworthy or special or unique in some way. Once you get to a higher level of prime magic, you can cast a spell that will... Oh, actually, you are technically high enough, you don't know it as a rote, but you could cast a spell using prime that will show you where mana pools. When you get to a slightly higher level, you can actually move hallows.
Ooh.
Now, moving a hallow somebody else has sort of staked out their claim on is considered very provocative and will likely result in a forceful, if not violent, response to moving it.
That's fair.
So probably don't do that, but if you find one that is not where you would like it to be, and as far as you know, nobody's staked a claim on it, once you're at a level 3 of prime magic, that is high enough to attempt to move the hallow to a different spot.
Okay.
You quite literally rearrange where the ley lines intersect to pull that mana to the spot you'd like it to be in.
That seems real dangerous.
Oh, sorry. Lance forgot one other important thing about mana. I explained to you how you can get mana when you're at a hallow.
Mm-hmm.
There is one other way to do it. If mana sits in a hallow for long enough, it infuses itself into a physical object and creates something called TAS.
TAS?
TAS is really useful because it is sort of like long-term mana storage, right? So hallows can only hold a certain amount of mana. So once mana sits there long enough, it sort of crystallizes and embeds itself in a physical object, thereby freeing up more room for the mana to come out. So it sort of it lets you have more mana around a hallow than it could actually hold. What form that task takes and how to get it out and into your system without using a very powerful prime spell depends on the hallow. It is like it could crystallize inside a fruit, and then maybe all you have to do is eat the fruit. But it could also crystallize in like the stones on a peak of a mountain. And just because it crystallizes in those doesn't mean you can eat them and get it. Even if it's in like a fruit, it doesn't mean you can just eat the fruit and automatically get it out. It's unique to each hallow.
I lick the rock.
So there is that other little thing, but that's like a very you have to be specific about what hallow you're talking about to figure out how to get the mana out when it's sort of gone into long-term storage.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think at some point I would try to cast to see if I could find hallows.
Okay. So what it would do without incurring a huge die penalty, it would let you see if there was a hallow in your visual range.
Visual range, okay.
You could try and cast it to like show you the nearest one, but that is at a significantly higher dice penalty that you will not have a dice pool to succeed at right now.
Which means I need to do a little more research on Burlington, Vermont and find the weird places.
You can. And while you're thinking about that, you notice something one day after our short training period while you're walking home from work.
What do I notice?
Well,
The plot.
at 155 College... Yeah, exactly. At 155 College Street, you're walking past, on your way home. There's an alleyway in between the Northfield Savings Bank and City Hardware that you haven't seen before.
Huh. I would like to do the thing with the thing and see if there is something... Well, I guess I should try and make sure that this is not some, like, weird evil entity, like Eldritch Alley. Is there something that I can do to do that?
Boathouse. There can be an
What do you want to try?
Well, I guess first off, to see if it's like real or if that has been
So
put
I will.
out there.
Let me describe. This might help. The alleyway. It's an alleyway, but if you look on a map, right around that area, there's a bunch of like little alcoves and they're usually like windows. It's like an alcove. It just goes in a little bit deeper, and it's too dark in the alcove to see if there's anything else in it. So it's not like a full-on alleyway. It's like there's a little, almost like tunnel that was not there yesterday.
Can I pierce deception and see?
Well, let's see what Pierce Deception does.
I suppose I should read it to make sure I read the right description the first time. Because, like, if that is magically there for some reason or something like that, I'm trying to...
You certainly can. Roll me your Arcana plus your Gnosis plus your skill.
Gnosis.
Ooh, sorry, I should point out one other thing that would have been in part of your training, because you guys were talking about it. If you cast spells in front of sleepers, it automatically ensures that I have to roll at least one die for Paradox. Which is when, and if Paradox happens, you either pull a Void monster into the real world, or you have to pull Void energy into yourself to keep it from escaping into the real world. Neither are fun, neither are good. You are on the street in the evening, so there are people around. So you can't just cast a spell right here and be okay.
Okay. That being the case...
You would have to try and, like, hide what you were doing, so that people didn't notice. And even then, if they see through what you're doing, you could still invoke Paradox.
That being the case, I would take the risk. I would probably text our group and be like, hey,
Minus Braden.
just so you know, minus Braden, just so you know, I'm about to check something out that I haven't seen before. There's like an alley that wasn't here before.
Alley.
And I'll give them the address.
Like Discord, I'll be like, why are you thinking of doing something alone? Question mark.
Not a deep dive, just ducking my head in.
Hashtag see you on the 6 o'clock news.
I like start off just by like entering the archway, but not actually.
So right before you do, I'm going to remind you that you can activate your mage sight to see like sort of the magical overlay. Without that does not provoke Paradox.
Let's do that.
This alleyway, in sort of the stone arch above it, you can see through your mage sight there is the divine machinery spelling out some sort of warding power that is like written over the top of the archway.
Warding power.
Like it's so it's when I say it's a magical ward, it's not like you're seeing a spell that protects this. You are seeing the symbols that someone would put over a doorway to denote that it is like protected from evil or something.
Oh. I think it's a good witch. Not a bad witch or a sandwich. It's got wards over it from the machinations of the universe. I don't know.
Wait, like nobody wrote out these? The universe put wards on this alley?
I don't know how to explain this to somebody who's not an Obramos.
Yeah, you would have to have them come down and look at it to see what they saw.
I'm on my way. What was the address?
I'll hold up then.
It's
I'll
155
over.
College Street.
155 College. I'll call you just so you
Hello.
know.
Is it evening?
5 College
Yes.
Street.
Yeah, because Jamal was on
But I
the
guess
they were
I'm-
on their way home.
Yeah.
I'm with. Then I'm at home. I'm just like,
Alright, let's go.
Have to.
keep my
I feel like we do.
splatters.
And I'm not all that far away, so it doesn't take me long to get there. I'm probably the first one to show up.
We can't lose.
If you pull up the street view,
A day of
I remember
existing.
how to do street view on
Especially since
this. There.
this is the only one we've got in a different order.
I think it might
They're both in
be
the free
the other side of it. You're looking for a gray. Oh no, you were on the right side. A gray Northfield Bank.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so in between that gray Northfield Bank and that other building next to it,
The
there-
brick one?
Yeah, there's another one of those little like alcove-looking things, except it is not a window or a door into a thing. It's just, and again, you would know when you get there. That wasn't there before. That is just like an extra door that has sandwiched itself in between two buildings.
Okay, so mage sight, and I'm seeing the... Oh.
So what you see as an acanthus, and any of my acanthus, when you get there and you look at it, you see all the indicators in a story that this is some sort of sanctuary or a cave, a sacred cave of some sort.
Okay, so this is the...
This is a good place.
I did
pretty
not
sure.
say that.
No.
This could be a good place.
It is a sacred cave or a sanctuary. That does not mean it is for you.
This is a place.
It's a here.
This is.
All right, so this is like a place of power in one of the stories.
So basically, for all of you, I will, in general, as we go forward, whoever the first person is to look at something in Mage Sight, I will describe what their version of it is. You all come to the same conclusions whenever you look at something through Mage Sight. It's just it looks a little...
It's flavored different.
Yeah, it's flavored different for you, but I don't want to have to explain everything three times
That's
for you to all come to the same conclusion.
That's fair.
Mechanically, I guarantee it will always be the same answer. You just get there a different route.
Got it.
Oh. So, what do you think's in there?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. It's a place of interest.
I'd like to think we roll up and I'm just like, this is why we're gonna be the cabal that stuff happens to.
I was
Okay.
looking for the idea of like a hollow for us, maybe.
Yeah, are we getting like this could be a hollow vibe?
Does it feel sort of?
It's
similar
weird.
to-
It's definitely magic. That looking at an alcove, that is all you can tell.
Okay.
It is too shadowed on the inside to see if there's anything inside of it without going in.
I'm gonna stick my hand in.
Okay. You stick your hand into the shadow.
I'm just so...
Back
Stick it out.
See if
I'm
you still got a
just
hand.
so worried that...
It's not like magical darkness. It's just like there's without stepping in.
All right.
Right, but
Into
like,
it,
what
but-
if there's
No, yeah, I
some
get
sort
you.
of-
I'm just trying to describe so everybody
Yeah.
understands. Like, it's not like a wall of darkness, but it is like just dark enough that without stepping into the shadow of the alcove, you can't tell for sure what's in there.
All right.
I'm just
I'll pull
so
up,
worried
I guess, by now.
that,
so.
that this... If this is a hollow...
This place just all going
That
together.
it's like right in the middle of Cassandra's territory.
Helena, but yes.
Or Helena. Yeah.
I was like, who the hell's Cassandra?
Sorry.
You guys have met Cassandra. She was
Yeah, we
the
have.
Mysterium
Oh,
person.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I mean,
Mhm.
all right.
So what is
I
it?
think we don't know.
Okay.
It's magic-y.
Again, it invokes the idea of like an entrance to a cave or a
Okay.
sacred place.
All right,
But
I'll walk
you-
in.
But you know, the stories...
Hold on.
In the stories, you have to explore places like this.
Yes, but I do think one of us should go in and not all of us, just in case we die.
And then Whimsy steps in. You have to walk about 7 or 8
Miles.
steps. Seven or 8
Go by yourself. I'm
7
not
or
with
8
you.
feet into the alcove. So for all the rest of you, and you can hear her taking steps until you come to a wrought iron gate that covers like the whole thing. It has these like really nice sort of almost like filigree, but I don't know how to describe it now. I lost the word, but like filigree, but like in a wrought iron gate. Across the top in this very sort of flowery writing, it says Viviane's Glade.
Oh,
Viviane?
Viviane. Viviane.
One more time.
Viviane. So Viviane's Glade.
Wait.
Glade or glade?
Glade.
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 Do I...
It is very clear that this gate is supposed to it opens in 2 ways. and there's so much intricate like filigree type stuff going on that without making me a roll, you don't make out anything else. There's no clear keyhole or anything.
Have I heard this name before, Viviane?
I don't know, Natalie. Have you?
Natalie has not, no.
You have not heard of a mage named this.
I am going to, before we try and open it, I'm going to text my...
Have we all followed in? Or is it still just Lindsay
Jamal.
right now?
I wouldn't let her go in by herself.
Then the same thing.
I am gonna...
You hear them
Yes.
step.
And I'm going to.
Yeah.
I guess by this
I'll
point
go
we'll
in.
all go in.
Apparently, if one of us dies, we all die. I'm gonna text Irinian and be like, does Viviane mean anything to you?
Okay.
I'll wait a couple of minutes.
I'm gonna call Schwinn. It's evening. He shouldn't be at his
Yeah.
job.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, does the name Viviane mean anything to you?
No.
Huh. What about Viviane's Glade?
It means about as much to me as the name Viviane.
What about Vivian?
It doesn't say Vivian.
Well, it doesn't say anything. We're reading it.
Okay. Do you know of any magical things that should be showing up at 155 College Street?
No.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Well, now they're all gonna come.
No, because we've staked a claim.
How about
We haven't! It's a door! All you're claiming is a door with
And
someone's
Whimsy
name
has
on
now
it
put you all on
already.
the clock.
I would like to touch the door.
I now
It's a
realize
wrought iron
that.
gate. It's got nice fancy filigree stuff going on.
And you're worried that I'm going to spill all
I mean,
the
it's
secrets.
closed and it fills up the whole alcove. When you touch it, it doesn't move.
I'm gonna push it.
It is secured
I'm gonna
somehow.
start poking at things to see if there's a secret thing.
I'd like to roll and like see what the heck
That's
is
Wits
Smart.
composure.
I'm over
Wits
here just
composure or wits investigation.
Wits composure it is. Oh, that one rolled out. Okay, so 2 10s and 8. Let's re-roll those 10s. So 3 successes, and then 2 7s. So 3 successes.
Okay. As you are trying to look at it, you realize that there are 5 sigils, logos, symbols, something. It's really intricately done, so it almost blends in with the filigree. It's not till you realize what you're looking for that you find it. So there are these 5 sigils, and in the center of each one is a tiny keyhole. One of them looks like it looks like it's some sort of, I want to say carving, but that's not really exactly the right word, but like carving type thing of the comedy and tragedy mask from theater.
Okay.
The next one is a trumpet.
Gotta come most tragos. Trumpet.
The next one is what looks like grapes and a cup.
Grapes and chalice.
And the last 2, you have no idea. One of them doesn't seem like anything to you. It is just this really intricate design. The last one, you don't know what it is, but you are able to make out what it looks like. It looks like this.
That's
Oh,
intricate.
a fancy S over a
Wow.
pyramid, an SV over a pyramid with a sword. Okay.
Did you get it, Keith? Of course, Jamal hasn't explained what he's seeing to any of you yet, but did you get it, Keith?
I know at least 3 of them are aimed right at me.
So I think you should stop pushing. I think that we've got to have keys. There are like 5 different keyholes here with different symbols.
As Jamal points them out, you are all then each able to see each of them.
Okay.
The one that looks like a whole bunch of designs does not look that way for you. You recognize what that is. It is a relief of the, like a diagram of the inner ear.
The fifth
Huh.
one?
No, the fourth one.
Oh,
You don't know what the fifth one is. The fifth one, you can clearly make out what the symbol's supposed to be. I showed it to you. That's what you see.
Okay.
It's just one of those things where I reach behind your ear and pull out some magic-y key.
What if we just touch the keyholes?
I mean, you could try.
I'm like, ooh, that looks like a membranous labyrinth.
What?
The ossicles of the ear.
It's an ear?
And I'm like, this one. That's what your ear looks like on the inside. So open.
Melon.
What is Fred? Yeah, exactly. What's the
Melon.
Oh, alright. Well,
Comedy tragedy. Wine in a cup.
Yeah.
What was
Wine in
the
a cup.
third
It
one?
was grapes.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
grapes
the
and
trumpet.
Trumpet.
Yeah,
Grapes.
grapes.
a
the
chalice.
inner ear, and then the symbol I showed you. And they are arranged like 1, 2, and then the other 3.
Okay.
Do any of these symbols, any of the rest of these mean anything to you guys? After all we've seen after these last couple
I
weeks?
don't think I recognize
It's not
those two.
grapes.
Yeah, I mean, I know what grapes are. I don't know, like, point of reference. Like, context, not so much. I'm gonna, like, he puts, like, just his fingers up to his mouth and does the thing. Like, just tries to sing something and see if anything happens. Like, acts like it's a trumpet.
I mean-
that was stupid. I don't know what I was going for there.
Technically, some of these could be related to the senses.
But what does that one mean? And I point to
Well,
the
okay, I
weirdest
don't
little
know
one.
that one.
What sense
But
is
This
that?
trumpet. This trumpet. Maybe that's you, Jericho.
Well, I mean,
Wait,
I
these-
tried the sound thing. What do you
I
mean?
don't think that. Well, I mean, because like the ear, that could be pointing at me. There's a trumpet, that could be you. What am I going to do? Point my ear at it? Like maybe it's not it directly, but
I mean,
That
why
we've
would it be
been
related
chosen
to us,
by a
though?
door.
maybe,
Is that what you're saying?
maybe the mask's whimsy
For why?
because feelings.
Well, there you go.
And what? I'm SV pyramid
Where?
thing.
What are you? Where are you at? What's your
Fierces?
name?
Mine?
Grapes and
Loco?
chalice. I've seen you
Your
drink
name is
before.
Loco?
I don't know.
Well, it's a crazy design. And
The
Loco
trumpet does
means
make sense with
crazy.
Jericho. But I don't know why there would be symbols that represent us on a door, in a hallway.
That has never been there
Alleyway.
before?
Because
How
weird
do you-
stuff happens to us.
Should we name our cabal that? Weird stuff happens? No, that'd be a bad idea.
No, that's just asking for trouble.
It would also give away a lot about ourselves.
The grapes
Did you
could
try
be
touching
Dion.
the
Dionysus.
symbols?
Yeah, I tried touching one of
Maybe,
them.
maybe.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're gonna name ourselves anything, it's gonna be Mystery Inc.
It should just be.
I believe that's
door.
going to require a vote, and you're going to get a no from me.
I don't know, we could each just like touch them.
See what happens.
I'm
I
gonna
guess.
put my hand on the
Why
ear.
am I a trumpet?
Jericho.
Do it.
Oh,
I guess
the
oh,
walls of
I'll do the
Jericho.
weird
Yeah.
symbol, I guess. Sure.
Well, you're Dion, yeah?
No,
What?
he's Dion,
Dion.
he's
You touch the
Loco.
grapes.
Yeah.
You touch the weird crazy
Oh.
symbols.
Okay.
And you touch the masks.
You know, I was thinking the meaning of the
Yeah,
word.
nothing. All you
Okay.
feel is the symbol and the keyhole embedded within the symbol.
What if we each just put a random key in the holes?
I don't have any
Why are you
keys.
trying to get us killed?
Why are you not?
What?
What?
What are you thinking over there?
I don't know. Keith feels like he's missing something.
Is there something I can roll to try to see if I might be able to figure out?
As players,
What's happening?
are we smarter as characters than we are players?
That is the question. Sure, there are many things you can try and roll. What are you trying to figure out as Ember?
I'm trying to figure out if these. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to open the door.
Yeah, there's not a roll I can do just for that. That's a little... Like, you could do any roll for that.
It's comedy, tragedy, grapes.
I'm
No,
trying-
trumpet. It's comedy, tragedy,
comedy,
trumpet,
Grapes.
grapes, ear,
So,
symbol.
grapes.
And it's like a dedicated keyhole.
Yes, it's like an old-fashioned keyhole. It's a little small, but...
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if these symbols are actually related to us or if it's coincidental.
Okay, there are two ways we can do this.
Okay.
I can have you try and make a skill roll, or you can try and use a particular arcana with Mage Sight if you have any points in it.
I mean, literally, as you were saying that, it occurred to me to just look at the thing with my mage sight.
It's probably,
I won't do that right now.
yeah.
I'll inspect
Try
the
Mage
rest.
Sight.
Just regular Mage Sight, or are you going to try and use a specific arcana?
Fate.
You- Okay, so you will
I
have to
feel-
spend a point of mana.
Okay, I do feel like if these were connected to us, Fate would make a lot of sense.
So you have to use a 1 point of arcana as you sort of try and filter out to, like, you just want to see the effects of the Fate Arcanum on everything. As you do this, each one of those symbols looks different to you. The comedy and tragedy mask is you.
Okay,
The trumpet is Jericho.
makes sense.
The grapes is Dion. The diagram of the inner ear is Oris. And the last one,
Why
Is him.
What is that? Well, we already do
Okay.
that, technically.
Guys, no, actually, Aris was right.
And through the fate, you can see that the keyholes like sort of glow, like like there's a golden glow further inside of them.
Okay. No, Aris was right. Trumpet's you.
I mean, yeah.
Grapes. Weird symbol, ear. Yes, you were right.
Good job.
All right, so
There's something glowing on the other side of this.
okay.
And this was meant for us for some strange
For
reason.
whatever reason,
The
yes.
rest of the what?
Rest of the door.
Okay, roll me either wits composure or wits investigation.
Wits composure or wits investigation?
I'm actually inclined to see if just a random key that we all put in the correct hole works.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so I'll pull my keys out and just pull a random key, stick it in.
What key do you use?
Oh no!
What is this a key to other than the thing you're trying to stick in here?
Sorry, composure what?
Wits composure.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? It is. It's gonna be the key to my safe space, the studio that we went to way back when.
This key is far too big to fit in that keyhole, and yet it slides right in as soon as you try it.
Click.
Okay, I got one.
All right.
Okay, house key.
Okay, hang on. You realize, so like, Jamal found the relief, like the locks, but the larger relief as you look at it is some sort of relief, like landscape picture of someone looking across a lake to a small island.
No!
I described this.
Oh!
And it has a lot of like fairy tale or like old school Renaissance painting stylings to it.
Oh!
I point all this
The
out.
key to your apartment?
No.
No.
Car key.
Yes.
Interesting.
Indeed. Apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
That as you guys were first talking about it, I was just like, this. It's so fun to watch people be like, what could these be? Like, what could the comedy and tragedy mask be? I don't know, Whimsy. What could it be?
See here.
was thinking of the actual, like, the meaning of the word Jericho, and kind of forgot for a second. Oh, wait, the biblical reference.
Yep, the biblical reference.
Oh, wait a
That's
second.
fair.
Oh.
So what do you think that could be, huh?
Probably something to do with voodoo magic.
Oh.
I have
Oh.
a car key. I have a house key. I have a work key. So I will try my house key. The only key I have, I assume it's my work key. So I will try that. Well,
Do you have one to your bike lock?
Ooh.
yes, that's yeah. So I can both of
Try and
them
see
up.
what happens.
Try
Let's
that.
try my bike key. Oh,
Interesting.
Car key?
It's not
Yep,
personally
that'll work.
attached to
Okay.
you yet. You guys
Click.
just moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when each of you puts each of them in and you click it, you hear, and it's weird because you see stuff moving that you didn't notice behind the gate. Like there was some like mechanical cogs and levers and stuff behind it, and you see it all rotate, and the gate swings open.
well,
Shit. Oh.
get
Okay.
my key back though. I need it for my lock.
Yeah, you once you unlock it, you can pull the key back out. You're fine. You're good.
Like, would you like to
Ate
knock
my
right?
key.
Okay, what's inside?
It gets darker.
All right.
Let's
Go
go.
forward.
This is probably a
I
trap.
kind of grip, like in case I don't know, like grip bits of rubber around.
All right.
Does anybody have a flashlight?
I mean, we have phones.
We have phones.
Yeah. Okay, that'll work.
Except for
I
him.
need each of you to
Oh, he
make.
has a flashlight.
I need each of you to make me a Gnosis resolve roll as you all walk down the alley.
Resolve. Okay.
Again, this is less of. It's becoming less and less of an alley, more and more of a tunnel. Like you can't see this guy. Like it is a.
2.
Was it Gnosis Resolve? That's it?
Also, too.
I did not succeed.
Expendable power.
Oh
You know
my
what?
God.
That's a good idea.
Nothing. I could spend a willpower too.
Did you have an 8? An 8 is a success.
I don't think so. I think it was just
Oh.
that.
Okay.
So I will use one.
A willpower adds.
It adds 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I was looking at the one
3
spots.
dice.
Yeah, it adds 3 dice when you spend the
There
willpower.
we go. 2.
And
Oh, and I get to reroll.
One success.
It's
Ten.
still 2.
Then reroll
Great,
the
then
10.
it's a success plus you reroll it. Okay, so
And a 9. I got 2.
final total.
2.
2.
You guys keep walking and you don't seem to be getting anywhere.
Oh dear.
How long? Like if we keep going, it's gonna keep going. If we
You guys have been walking for several minutes at this
Okay.
point.
I
okay,
wanna look behind.
this alley is not this big.
Hold up a sec. I'm gonna turn around and walk back. How long does it take me to, like...
2 steps.
Hey, guys!
Okay.
Again, if you guys turn around, you're like 2 steps away from the gate you went through. Like you have not.
Oh, so they see
Okay,
me.
sorry, not 2 steps. It would have been enough steps that the gate isn't still kind of hard to see from where you are, but it's no more than 5 feet away from you.
So they can still see
Oh,
me
yeah.
turning around. Hey! Turn around!
When yeah, and
Turn around.
Every now and then again, a little bit. Sorry.
no, you're good. Like it's
Utmost.
this is.
Okay. Can you imagine going on runs like this though?
Oh.
No, it would be so nice. You get in your steps and then you just turn around.
Like, now, you would never get to the finish line if you were actually trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, but if you were just trying to
it would
work
be
out.
so nice to just, like, turn around and home is there. Oof,
That'd be nice.
that's so nice.
But clearly we're doing something wrong.
Lights on.
I wonder if we should, like,
the lights.
if I can meditate and see if there's something I can connect to
Just
here.
see if it's a hollow.
I want to see what one of my spells does. I haven't looked it up yet. Okay, what's it called?
You
Let
know,
me check my spells, too.
I'm gonna make a bet. I can't bet on myself. I bet that this coin is gonna land tails. And if it doesn't, then I don't get the quarter anymore.
Go Go ahead and make your roll for an oblation.
Oh, which is... Shit, I wrote it down.
Was
Witsnosis. Which is not great. But 1 success.
Okay. It does not land. You said tails, right? It lands on whichever one you said it would not land on.
Okay. Okay, well, this isn't my quarter anymore.
You do not get a point of mana.
I mean, you wouldn't
That was
have
worth a shot.
either. You wouldn't have anyway because you had all 10.
Okay.
So you're
No, she spent
No,
one.
I spent one.
Oh,
She
yeah,
spent one to
okay.
use Fate Sight.
Okay, well, I don't think I got a mana point back, so it might not be a hallow, but
What? So when we're standing there, what is it we see facing forward?
Darkness.
Okay.
The alleyway continuing forward to the point where you can't tell
and
what's
our
ahead.
flashlights, phones don't do
Not
anything.
far enough.
I say I want to try something. Do you guys prefer I try it alone, or
Well, what are you doing?
I'm gonna close my eyes and start walking?
Huh.
Go for it.
I close my eyes and start walking.
Gnosis Resolve.
Gnosis 1. Where's my resolve?
Up top.
At the top, thank you. 3. Okay. Please don't do me dirty. I have 1 success.
You keep walking, you open your eyes, you are no further than you were before.
I'm like right next to him.
Yeah, so for you guys, it's really weird because like as you watch her, like it's not like a weird walking place thing. Like she is definitely moving like she's walking, but she gets like 1 step away from you and then can't. No matter how it's the weirdest thing. You've never seen this before, but it's almost like space is distorting at the edges of your vision as she tries to like push through.
I would like to use my mage sight with my space arcana,
That will cost a point of mana.
and it will.
You don't have to roll.
Oh.
You spend the point and then you
Okay.
filter out all the other types of arcana but space. The pathway in front of you is enchanted and the space has been twisted and contorted to basically be never ending.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to go this way.
Because this is our first time doing this, Lance is going to point something out. When you filter out everything else but space, you can only see how the phenomenon affects your exact arcana.
Okay.
So there could be other parts to this spell that you currently cannot see because you have filtered out everything but space.
Yeah, so space is getting twisted so that it like twists back on itself.
Okay.
And we can't go any farther.
Can I try to do the counterspell attainment thing?
No, that has to be. Let me see.
A spell that is being cast.
Yeah, I think it has to be a
Okay.
spell that is being cast, but
Not an act.
before I actually commit to that, let me double check. That may not be true.
I think I'd like to use my mage sight to. In addition, is there any kind of a relief on the other side of the door?
Ooh, that's a good question.
No, so the back of the door was like this complex machinery that was keeping it locked. It was cleverly hidden in the filigree.
That makes me think prime.
Well, this is interesting because the door required all of us to actively do something.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps we are not altogether actively doing something to allow us to progress further.
Okay. You can attempt to counter this.
One moment I have a second thing to try.
So go ahead and, well, how many dots do you have in space?
Zed.
Then you can't counterspell this.
I
Requires someone who has knowledge of space
was
magic.
thinking perhaps, Dion, what about counterspelling? Attempting to,
I mean, I can try.
I say we just give it a shot in the dark, literally.
Give me a sec, real quick. I want to see if I can pick something out, and then we'll try that.
Okay.
What do your elf eyes see?
So, what?
So wait, he's Legolas?
I'm just quoting the movie. What do your elf eyes see? Because she's gonna try to do something. He's gonna try to do something.
Well, I mean, I'll take it, I guess. Anywho, I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna do Mage Sight and filter it like after I've had just general Mage Sight up. Try and put Prime on it.
Okay, so when you just go into your general mage sight, you see that this, to your mage sight, this tunnel appears as if it was the, how do I describe this? As if it was the hall and the procession leading up to great doors, like you were entering a throne room or some room of great import of some sort, and there are statues standing sentinel along it.
Huh.
And the gaze of these statues invokes the idea that they are passing judgment upon you.
Well, now that's just rude, you guys.
So that is what you see with just your regular Obermost mage sight.
And then once I apply a Prime filter, does that shift something?
So yeah, so when you apply the filter, your Obermost is like your path's flavor of magic, right? When you narrow it down to just one arcana, you literally strip everything out that is not related to this. Prime magic doesn't... You can tell that this space is magical and there is some sort of enchantment that bars your way.
You stripped
Prime
space,
can't tell
right?
you anymore.
I would like to try mine with mind.
Ah, okay, again, mark off the mana.
I keep thinking that we're both to do the same
Yeah,
exact thing. But
for mind, you see that the space in front of you measures your resolve.
Mark off a point of mana.
So the,
Okay.
the space in front of you can only be passed by those who possess great resolve or are fully committed to their cause.
So you said, do you relay any of the stuff you see?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm getting that only those with great resolve, 100% like conviction can pass here. I'm assuming
Conviction to what?
purpose, I suppose.
Oh, can I
Yeah,
give
we're
it?
being judged.
I'll give it a go. I'll try and go
What do
forward.
your other eyes see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you just walking forward?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll me resolve and gnosis.
And I'll add a willpower to this.
I'm resolved.
4 successes.
Loco
Yep.
walks ahead of you and disappears into the shadow, and you hear his footsteps echo for a brief time, and then they echo into nothing.
Well, shit.
And that is where we will end this episode.
Well done.
All right.
Hey, at least it wasn't stairs
Well,
to leave it nowhere.
All right, we're going to cut it off here for this month's episode of World of Darkness Burlington. Be sure you come back next month when we pick this up where we have left off. To know when World of Darkness is, keep tabs on our Discord server. We are running a couple of different series per week. One of them is the pre-recorded sessions. One of them is our live series. The Discord server has a channel in it with a pinned message that will always give you what the recording sessions are for that week. So be sure that if you haven't already, you are tuned in to that. In addition, we do also run a YouTube channel. All of the video content that we create does wind up there. So if you need to go back and rewatch something for, I don't know, recap purposes for yourself, that is the way to go. There's a lot of stuff out there, many hours of content. Our main campaigns, these side campaigns, everything does wind up there eventually. So if you haven't already, head over to YouTube, hit like and subscribe, make sure you turn on the notifications, and you'll always know when we put new content out. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. be sure that you come back and join us again next month on our journey through World of Darkness. But until then, we're the torches in the dark. See ya.